There was originally a severe thunderstorm warning on it for those gusty winds over 60 miles per hour and that quarter-inch hail. As it was leaving Middle Tennessee, getting to the other side of the county, it was actually losing strength, kind of turning into some lighter, more moderate rains and showers. But at some point, as it made it towards the edge of the county, that has since increased. It's now gained that strength, more of that lightning, more of those heavy rains. Hail was increasing in size as well, and that's all going to be because of the strengthening of those winds. We see more of that rotation, we see more of that intensification, and so that is going to be what causes all of those to continue to occur. Now, we do still have this going until about 6:15 Eastern Time, 5:15 Central Time. For those of you that are in parts of Scott County, that is going to be going into a little bit. Going to be dipping a little bit further into parts of Central Time, so you're definitely going to make sure that you are continuing to go into that safe space. We are looking at some of these storms that are going to keep moving. Again, further out into the east, if you're in Oneida, you're seeing some of those heavier rains. While we're not watching that core near you, we are still seeing you under those storms, under that warning. So again, even if you're not necessarily seeing the threat, it is still there. Make sure you're going underside. Make sure you're going to be safe. I'm being told to wrap for a little bit, so here's a little bit of your news for now. We're definitely going to make sure to keep an eye on this, keep an eye on social media and push alerts to make sure you're being safe. Kind of a tough way to start, Caitlin, but I'll send it back over to you for a bit.
Well, thank you, Tavian. And just to keep in mind for all of you, in cases of severe weather like this, you always want to be prepared with the latest information. You can download the WBIR app for free from your app store of choice. Not only can you stay up to date on the weather, but you can also receive traffic updates and our top headlines. Well, in Harlan County, Kentucky, officials say a teenage boy is dead after an ATV crash. It happened yesterday around 3:50 in the afternoon in Putney community. The Harlan County Coroner's Office say a 14-year-old teen died from his injuries after he was ejected from the ATV and it rolled over on top of him. The office says the teen was the only occupant of that ATV. Some people in Oak Ridge temporarily lost power today after a car crashed into a power pole. City of Oak Ridge government said the crash happened in the area of Montana Avenue. The pole was knocked down and the car caught fire. Oak Ridge says the driver suffered from minor injuries. Multiple crews and agencies were on the scene to restore power and clear the roadway. New tonight, the man who drowned on Fort Loudon Lake near Concord Park has now been identified. According to the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency, the victim is 22-year-old Charles Abunaway. He was swimming from a boat towards the shore when he went under and didn't resurface. So far this year, we've seen 13 fatalities on the water in the state. 2 of those happened here in East Tennessee. 10 News reporter Krista Lucas shares what to do if someone is drowning.
TWRA urges precaution when boating or swimming.
We're on pace to exceed the average of 22 fatal boating incidents that we see across Tennessee every year.
People sometimes can underestimate the distance.
Where someone is either on the shoreline and they look across the cove and they say, it's not that far, I'm going to take off, I'm going to swim across. And then they get halfway across and they either cramp up or it's a further distance than they realize.
If someone in the water becomes in distress, first reach out.
With a paddle, a boat hook, which is a device that you use in boats to maybe pull yourself to the dock.
Throw something that will float.
It's the square cushion with the handles on it, or maybe a ring buoy like a lifeguard would use. Throw something to them, throw a life jacket to them, something that they can grab a hold of, row or paddle the boat over to them.
Lastly, if you have to go into the water, put your life jacket on and take one with you. In Knoxville, Krista Lucas.
Weather coverage, we are still watching that tornado warning in our northern counties. If you're in the Huntsville area, you need to get to your safe space right now. So this includes Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. Right now, there's that tornado warning issued until about 6:15 this evening. So a few more minutes, but you still want to get to your safe space if you are near Norma, Huntsville, Robbins. If you're near the Sunbright area, you're in the clear. But we are still watching that tornado warning for about another 8 minutes or so. So this is what we're seeing as far as this track goes. Hail size, 1.5-inch size hail is possible, but this is what we're seeing as far as the potential goes. Just came down from the National Weather Service. Give me 1 second here. All right, looks like there was a possible tornado touchdown in the Aldar area right around 3:43. A gentleman said the tornado touched down briefly, went back down. There were several trees down, and this was right along Highway 52. We're going to keep you updated. We're not going anywhere until this tornado warning expires. All right, we do have one more tornado warning that just came down just a moment ago. This is still for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott County. So this has been extended. You can see it right there. So Robbins, Huntsville, and also towards the Norma area, still under that tornado warning. That has been allowed to be extended until 7 o'clock this evening. Again, we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to watch this system as it moves into our northern counties. So if you're near New River, you have 2 minutes to get to your safe space. All right, so what we're seeing here with this tornado warning, till 7 o'clock this evening, and there's a thunderstorm producing a tornado capable right near the Helenwood area or just 10 miles south of Oneida. And this is moving right around 30 miles an hour. So this is a very slow moving storm. But again, if you are in Campbell, Morgan, or Scott County, get to your safe space now as we are still under that tornado warning. This is the velocity loop we're seeing. We're seeing gusty winds. Look at that red and look at that green. That's that rotation that we're seeing possible with that chance for that tornado. So again, a tornado warning has been issued, and there's that hail core right there. Hail right now, right around 1 inch in diameter. So very large hail. This is quarter size hail. Again, if you're in Campbell, Morgan, or Scott counties, this includes Helenwood, Huntsville, Norma, and Oneida. Get to your safe space. If you're in a mobile home, get out. Get out of that mobile home right now. And before you get to your safe space, you want to wear, here we go, you want to wear comfortable shoes. That way, in case you happen to be in the debris afterwards, your feet do not get hurt. So again, if you are just tuning in, a tornado warning has been issued for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott County until about 7 o'clock this evening. All right. So we are still watching and monitoring from the National Weather Service. That's the beeping you're hearing right here. I'm monitoring right here on my laptop. So again, Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. We're going to reset here. All right, this is what we're still seeing. We are still under that level 3 enhanced risk, but we're going to do a reloop and show you exactly what to expect for the rest of this evening. Again, that tornado warning has been issued, well, I should say, has been extended until 7 o'clock this evening for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. Let's see here. Zooming in just a little bit closer, you can see there's actually 2 tornado warnings at the moment, but it's all clumped together as one for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. We're seeing hail 1.5 inches in diameter. So this is a very large amount of hail. So let's zoom in, just look at this track here real quick. We're gonna clear this on out, show you exactly what we're looking at. So between 1 inch to 1.5 inches of hail. And this is as far as the track goes. It's still moving about 30 miles an hour. So we're gonna go ahead and highlight this, stretch it. So if you are in Campbell, Morgan, or Scott County, get to your safe place. This is what we're seeing. If you're at Huntsville Elementary School, you need to be in your safe place right now. Winona, 5 minutes. Buffalo School has less than 10 minutes. Fairview Elementary School, 10 minutes. Straight Fork School, 15 minutes. I know it's summer. I know it's also a Sunday evening. Still, if you happen to be a janitor or a teacher at school right now, get to your safe place. And then just a few minutes later, if you're over towards Pioneer, 18 minutes to get to your safe space. This will be moving towards Royal Blue School in about 25 minutes. And again, we're not going anywhere. We're going to continue to monitor this tornado warning until this is allowed to expire at 7 o'clock this evening. So again, we're going to reset. We're not going anywhere. This tornado warning, we have 2. There's one that expires in about 3 minutes, 6:15 for part of Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. This includes Helenwood, Huntsville, Norma, and Oneida. This tornado warning that you're seeing, this spans again, right there, seeing hail 1.5 inches in diameter. We're watching this other tornado warning down to our south. This is until 7 o'clock this evening. So again, this is for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. Still includes Helenwood, Huntsville, Norma, and Oneida. This one's still producing some very large size hail, 1 inch in diameter. We've been talking about this all day. Our biggest concerns, hail, those gusty winds, and also that potential for a tornado. We're still watching this cell. It's actually moving pretty quick. Right now, that rotation, that red you see is the wind going one way, that blue you see is that wind going the other way. So it's doing that counterclockwise rotation. That's that possibility for a tornado. And again, from the National Weather Service, came down just a few moments ago. Let's see if I can find it right here. There was a possible tornado near the Aldar area. So what this means is it's right along, it was right around 3:43. So this was a couple hours ago, but we're still watching this. We're still monitoring this. National Weather Service has been amazing giving us information, but we're still watching this. Let's give you the track one more time as far as this system goes. So we're gonna reset here one more time. And again, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna stay on until this system has been allowed to expire. But it looks like this one system that's gonna be expiring right around 6:15, right there. But we're still watching another tornado warning that will be going on to about 7 o'clock this evening. So let's go ahead and reset. I'm gonna take the warnings off just so you can see the system just a little bit better. So I know sometimes it's kind of hard to see. We're gonna pause it, we're gonna zoom in, see exactly what we're looking at as far as the system goes. We're gonna turn on the velocity also, because that's the big thing. The velocity is also the wind. So wow, you can see it right there. Look at that counterclockwise rotation. Helenwood, you need to be in your safe space right now. Get to your safe space. That would be a basement, a lower level floor. It's moving right there. Helenwood, right along right along Highway 27. That would be, I can't read that. We can zoom in a little bit closer. I'm not quite sure what that says. But Interstate 27, right near Sulphur Springs School. Get to your safe space now. If you're in Huntsville, it's going to be in your neck of the woods fairly soon. You can see that rotation right there with that velocity. We're going to play that here one more time just so exactly you can see what we're seeing as far as this rotation goes. This system is moving about 30 miles an hour, so it's moving pretty quickly right now. So again, if you are just tuning in, we are watching now just one tornado warning. That 6:15 tornado warning has been allowed to expire, but we're still watching Campbell, Morgan, and Scott County. This is supposed to expire around 7 o'clock this evening, so this is still about 45 minutes. This includes Helenwood, Huntsville, Norma, and Oneida. There's a tornado warning that has been issued for your area. So again, we're going to take off this warning just so it's a little bit easier to see. But again, Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. Please do not forget that. We're going to turn on the tracker right there. And again, this is moving about 30 miles an hour. So this is what we're seeing. I'm going to turn this back on. All right. So in 6 minutes, this storm will be moving into the Scott municipal area. 7 minutes, West Robbins. 10 minutes, Robbins and Robbins Elementary School. In about 13 minutes, it'll be moving to the New River area, Stanley Junction. 16 minutes until this storm will be in your backyard. If you're in Huntsville or Huntsville Elementary School, about 18 to 19 minutes. Winona and Fairview Elementary School, about 25 to 29 minutes is when you'll be seeing this system move into your region. But right now, we're also looking at where exactly this system is. So I'm going to turn this warning back on just so we can see exactly what we're looking at. All right. So right now, what was that, Seth? All right. So we're zooming in, looking a little bit closer. Tornado warning for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. Right now, this system is looking to be right along the Zenith area near Mount Helen Road, also near Rock Branch Lane. Rugby, get to your safe space. Brewstertown, also get to your safe space as well. So this is the single cell we're looking at, but it's still a very strong system producing a tornado. And also, hail 1 inch in diameter. That's the size of a quarter. So this is a very strong system. Again, moving pretty quickly, right around 30 miles an hour. So again, if you are just tuning in, we are watching this tornado warning for Campbell, Scott, and Morgan County. We're going to zoom in, play this loop, show you exactly where we're looking at as far as the system goes. So this, again, is moving really quickly. Just in the past few minutes, it has moved into Helenwood. It's moving into Huntsville right now. And eventually it'll be moving. Let me turn this warning off. But we are still watching this tornado warning until 7 o'clock this evening, unless the National Weather Service allows it to expire just a little sooner. All right. And that beeping was from the National Weather Service. Let's see if we got any updated information. Doesn't look like it right now. If you're in the Winfield area, you are still under that tornado warning, but most of that is to the south of you. And we're really looking at Oneida, Paint Rock Road, Huntsville, Helenwood. So all right, thank you guys. We got a brand new tornado warning that just came down in Cumberland County. All right. So we are now watching 2 active tornado warnings. This first one again that we've been watching is in Helenwood, Huntsville, Norma, Oneida. So this is Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. Another one we're watching that just came down just a moment ago from the National Weather Service. This includes Cumberland County. We're seeing hail producing around 1 inch in diameter. If you're near Crab Orchard, you need to get to your safe space right now. Tavian, do you see how fast that storm's moving? Has it come down yet? 35 miles an hour. Okay, so we're going to track this once again. I'm going to turn off this warning, but again, if you're in Cumberland County near Crab Orchard, get to your safe space right now. So this is another fast moving storm, around 35 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and look at this, track this, so you can get a little better estimate on how much time you have to get to your safe space. All right, ozone, you need to be in your safe space right now. Daysville and Daysville Baptist Church. 3 minutes until you will start seeing some very heavy rain and very gusty winds. Rockwood, right around 11 minutes. 16 minutes until Cardiff will see this storm move through. South Harriman, 23 minutes, same thing from Harriman and Harriman City Hospital. Emory Heights, 27 minutes until you'll be seeing the system. So let's look at this velocity, see exactly what we're seeing as far as the wind speeds go. All right. So again, we are watching this right along Crab Orchard right there. Look at that rotation, the blues, purples, the greens, and the reds. We're seeing that right there. And we're seeing, let's see how strong these winds are. 83 mile an hour winds, thank you. Joining me is meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst. So we are both tag teaming in the Weather Center, keeping you safe. I got 87. So we are not going anywhere until both of these tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. So if you're tuning in for 10 News at 6, we are watching and tracking these multiple tornado warnings. So we're going to go ahead and reset, show you exactly what we're seeing outside all across the area. So again, we are watching 2 tornado warnings at the moment. Let's go ahead and reset this right here. All right, so these 2 tornado warnings, the first one that we've been monitoring for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott counties. It's producing hail 1 inch in diameter. We're going to go ahead and pause this, and we're going to take off the warning, but I want you to notice Robbins, Huntsville, and Norma, and also near Oneida. Anyone highlighted in this shade of red, you need to get to your safe space right now. But I'm going to take off this warning, and I want to show you exactly what this system is. This is still tracking right around 30 miles an hour. So let's see right here. And very important, if you are in a trailer park, if you are in a mobile home, you need to get out. You need to go to a more stable building. All right, this just came down from the National Weather Service. Storm is passing near over Huntsville with very concerning rotational signature. All right, let's zoom into Huntsville here real quick. Let's go ahead and look at this. All right, there we go. So again, that tornado warning still for Campbell, Morgan, and Scott County. But I want to pause this, take off this warning right here. Let's look at the velocity as far as this rotation goes. All right. I want to look at the winds because this velocity is looking very concerning. All right. If you are in Huntsville right now, east of Huntsville, that includes West Hills Road. That includes Jeffers Road, Capitol Hill School. Get to your safe space right now. We're not trying to scare you, but there's a very strong storm moving into your town right now, and we want you to stay safe. We're seeing wind gusts right now. Let's go ahead and put the tracker on for that. We're seeing wind gusts right now right around, let's see, at least 62 to 65 miles an hour. Looks like it. All right, so we're still seeing some very strong winds right now, 56 mile an hour gusts. All right, let's go ahead and turn this back on. All right, the Huntsville area. We're still watching both of these tornado warnings. We're gonna go back to Huntsville here for just a moment. Again, we're still watching some very concerning rotation right now. And the National Weather Service mentioned, all right, that tornado warning for Campbell and Scott County until 7 o'clock this evening. All right, so Morgan County has been allowed to expire, but this is still tracking east. So this still includes Helenwood, Huntsville, and also Oneida. We're going to continue to monitor that by also, when I'm not forgetting about you folks down here in Cumberland County near Crab Orchard. We're still seeing hail 1 inch in diameter. We're going to go ahead and pause this. We're going to take a look at the velocity and take a look at the track. Okay, let's look at the velocity first. All right, so we're seeing winds right now. I'm going to highlight. Wow, almost 80 mile an hour winds. Let's see, 50 mile an hour winds. All right. And let's take a look at the track again. Take a look at the radar. All right, and this is moving still around 35 miles an hour. So we're gonna track this, and it's moving east. 35, I have to make it a little bit, okay. A reset here, the computer was acting up. But again, if you are just joining us, we are monitoring 2 tornado warnings. Myself and meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst are here. We're not going anywhere. We're watching both of these tornado warnings. One that is still in Campbell and Scott County. The other one that we're monitoring right now is in Cumberland County. Both looking to expire. Well, actually, this one in Cumberland County at 5:45 Central Time. So that is 6:45 Eastern Time for those of us in Eastern Time, but this is at 5:45 Central Time for those in Cumberland County. So again, we're looking at the track of this, the timing of this. This is a decently fast storm once again. So this is moving about 35 miles an hour. Come on. Let's try that again. Again, we are still monitoring these 2 single tornado warnings. Why is it not going? All right, let's try this one more time. And those are the only 2 things we're watching. We're watching those 2 tornado warnings, and then also a thunderstorm warning that's technically just out of our viewing area, but we'll monitor that as well in case anything happens to develop. But we're really watching these 2 single tornado warnings. All right, let's try that again. There we go. Okay, so if you are near the Cardiff area, you have 4 minutes to get to your safe space. Harriman, about 9 to 11 minutes. Emory Heights, 14 minutes until this storm is in your neighborhood. Oakdale, 15 minutes, 20 minutes until it's near Little Emory, 25 minutes until Winslow, and 28 minutes until it is in Blair. And let's go ahead and take a look once again up towards Campbell and Scott County. We're still watching some very strong winds and also watching this rotation. Still monitoring the National Weather Service right here. All right, take a look at the winds. Okay, yeah, just as I expected. All right, Capitol Hill School, Sugar Grove Road, Buffalo School. That looks like Annandale Road. All right. Hey, Tavian, do you have stuff ready to go? Are you watching, monitoring? I need to change mics real fast.
Do your thing.
All right. Okay, I'm going to send things over to meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst. We are not going anywhere. We're going to continue to monitor these 2 tornado warnings, and we'll be here all until this expires. Tavian?
How's it going, everybody? Thank you so much, Kaylee. Go ahead and do your thing for a second. I mean, I've been watching everything just along Kaylee. While she was doing that, I was making sure to keep things up to date with social. So if anything, I'm just going to essentially pick up where she left off for the most part. Again, when you look at that wider scale, this is the radar that we are seeing right now. It looks like just north of Fentress County, there's a new severe thunderstorm warning. Just getting into a Fentress, a little bit of Pickett County as you get closer to parts of Kentucky. We have the 2 tornado warnings as well, with some more stronger scattered showers starting to pop up. Now, of course, this is where we are expecting more of that elevated severe potential. You see, we've got that orange, that likely for most of the kind of southern and western valley, all of the plateau. Then we have that level 2, that elevated chance as you get further into the mountains, getting towards like Sevier County, further up to Green, Cock, and Hamblin. You guys are in that level 2, that elevated chance, but it's still going to be a couple of hours before that rain starts getting to you. Now, the main impacts that we're looking at, we're seeing some of them already. The main thing that we're looking at are going to be some gusty winds, getting upwards of 70 miles per hour, if not more. That's something that we have seen with both of these tornado warnings. We are looking at heavy rains coming from these systems, which is also to be expected. They've got a lot of those reds and oranges, so heavy rain could cause some of that localized flooding. And of course, the issue that we're dealing with right now, the main 2 that could be the most concerning, are going to be some of that hail, quarter size, some even getting up to half-dollar size. That's 1.25 inches, some getting to 1.5 inches. And we're now seeing some reports of some ping pong size hail starting to pop up as well throughout the area. And it looks like the tornado warning was canceled in Morgan County just a couple of minutes ago. So now we're still just watching the 2 that were in the area. Wind gusts throughout this, though, even minus these 70+ mile per hour winds, we're still seeing general wind gusts upwards of 20 to even 30, even greater miles per hour. So I'll give you a little bit of a futurecast right now. Stronger storms right now staying into parts of the northwestern plateau. That's only going to continue to shift further east as we get into the coming hours. See, around 7 o'clock, we see some stronger storms start to pop up to our south as well. We go a little bit forward, 8 o'clock, we get more of that defined line of stronger storms really starting to appear as we get down into the valley, getting towards the mountains and foothills. That starts to open up a little bit, getting towards 9 o'clock. We still see some more of those stronger scattered showers hanging out behind us as well. Still kind of picking up. This model moves things a little bit more slowly than some others do, but we are still seeing a lot of those stronger storms that this one is definitely holding true to. So as we get closer into the midnight hours, that's when we will see this rain continue to pass off, move a little bit forward, rise right along really the entirety of Appalachia as we get over into that midnight hour before that continues to pass and we see some clearing as we get further into the next couple of days. I can give you a better idea of some of that rainfall as well that we'll see on a closer scale in just a second. Gonna pull some of that up right here, and we can really watch as we go from today into tonight. A lot of that heavier rain continuing forward, and again, we are likely to see some rain after midnight, but even up to this point, some places getting upwards of 2 inches. You see that 2 inches in Huntsville, getting into La Follette, and that's where some of those storms are heading. So I'm gonna take it back to the visible radar to show you. These are the storms that we are looking at right now. Let that load up for a second. There she is. We're now looking at a new severe thunderstorm warning that's up there in Fentress County, including all of Jamestown. So let's just zoom into that general region because this is where a lot of our action is happening as of right now. So, of course, we have the tornado warning right there in parts of Cumberland County. We move a little bit further up north. We're now seeing the 2 thunderstorm warnings. We can move that guy out of the way. There we go. So here's some of the storms that we are looking at right now. And let's just kind of take a look. Right now, we're still watching this one here, getting into parts of Scott County, now starting to make its way over into Campbell County. So those of you in Elk Valley, those of you in Jellicoe, Kentucky, getting close to Habersham, definitely make sure that you are staying safe. So we're going to take a switch over here, look at the velocity again, watching some of the winds on these storms as they get in here. We're now seeing things look to be a little bit weaker. We're now watching some more of those greens versus some of that blue, which is some extremely fast wind. And drop a couple question marks, see what kind of winds we're seeing right now. 60 mile per hour wind gusts. That one shows 18. That's not too helpful. But we are seeing some very strong winds start to work their way into the area. There we go. 62 mile per hour winds. These are some very gusty winds. You're going to want to make sure you're heading downstairs to that safe place. You don't want to be near any windows. If you want to take pictures, that's great. But unfortunately, now it's not the time for that. You're going to head downstairs to that area where there are no windows. You're going to want to have your emergency supplies along with you. There's one thing I've been trying to watch, which is called the correlation coefficient, which is something that we can usually see if there is a large debris ball forming, but we haven't seen a lot of that right now. A lot of this darker red, the more of that red that you see, the more similar that these things are. So we're seeing rain of a similar size and a similar movement that are in that regional area. If we started to see maybe a bubble of this blue or this green start to grow especially bigger, that would be another sign that we have a tornado, but we're not exactly seeing that right now. So the main thing that I've been looking at has been the velocity of some of these storms. We're going to zoom out a little bit. There isn't a tornado threat with some of the storms that we're seeing as you make your way back into Jamestown, but these are still some very strong storms that you're seeing. We are going to be seeing a lot of gusty winds and hail coming along with these storms. 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail have been indicated, and this is a very large severe thunderstorm warning, so it's including basically the entirety of Fentress County, and then even a little bit further into the north, you get into Pickett, and that one is also showing winds upwards of 60 miles per hour and half-dollar size hail. So that's even a little bit bigger than quarter size. That's about 1.25 inches. So point being, there's some very large hail, some severe factors that are sitting along with these storms that you're going to want to keep an eye out for, or really keep an ear out for, because hopefully you are in your safe spot. And definitely making sure you're keeping yourselves protected. We move a little bit further down into the south. We're still watching the system here. The tornado warning going until 5:45. That's sitting there in Cumberland County, just to the north of Crab Orchard, but it started to move out of the way. It's now heading into parts of Morgan County. Some of that rain starting to get into Roane County, but it seems like the larger bulk of that rain is staying a little bit further up north. So if you're in Oakdale, if you're in Coalfield, if you're in Oliver Springs, even Oak Ridge, it's something you're going to want to keep an eye on, so make sure you are staying tuned with us as we get over these next couple of hours. I'm going to turn the warning off here so we can really focus on the system at hand. And if I can move that out about here, move it out to Oak Ridge just by chance to see kind of what those storms are going to do. We are seeing Oakdale, 6 minutes, Basiltown, 8 minutes, Little Emery, Winslow, Coalfield. You guys are all within these next 20 minutes, so make sure that you are getting to that safe space. We have not seen a tornado warning come up for these areas yet, but this is clearly still a severe storm with some very strong winds coming into the area. So you're going to want to make sure that you are being safe. I'm going to take a look at about one more thing here. I'm getting the thumbs up from meteorologist Kaylee Bowers here helping me out here. Really appreciate her for it. But if we switch over to the velocity really quick, we're still seeing that bright blue, still some very fast winds coming in along with these storms. Let's see. Get a view of kind of what we're looking at. 77 miles per hour. Those are some very, very gusty winds. 85 miles per hour. There you go. I mean, if that's not proof enough for you, definitely make sure you're just getting inside. You're being safe. Gusty winds and straight line winds are our #1 threat with these severe storms. It's the one thing that we've been mentioning even since Saturday when we were only having a level 1 marginal threat. So definitely just make sure you are staying safe. If she's ready for me, I think I'm going to toss things over to Kaylee Bowers. I'll give you one last look at sort of what we are seeing from that full view before I hand you over. So we've got 2 tornado warnings, one ending in about 10 minutes, another one ending in about 25 minutes, and we now have 2 severe thunderstorm warnings, one including Fentress County, and one now making its way down into parts of Roane, even a little bit of Loudoun County, getting up to Lenoir City and including parts of Sweetwater. But gonna hand things over to you, Kaylee, for a bit.
All right, Tavian, thanks so much. Yeah, you just mentioned a brand new thunderstorm warning just came down near the Spring City, Sweetwater, and Lenoir City area. We're going to zoom in, look at that here real quick. We're not forgetting about the tornado warnings. We are still watching that, but as these showers and thunderstorms continue to pop up, more people are impacted. So like Tavy mentioned, this is for East Central Ray County, Southwestern Loudoun County, also Northeastern Meigs County, North Central McMinn County, Northwestern Monroe County, and Southern Roane County. So again, this is highlighted by this shade of yellow. You can see right here, I know we're watching that tornado warning to the north, but if you're near Spring City, 10 miles, Sweetwater, Philadelphia, Loudoun, and Paint Rock, right now, you are under a thunderstorm warning, and just now a brand new tornado warning came down for Morgan County. This includes Coalfield, Lansing, Oakdale, and Wartburg. This just came down just a moment ago as we transition. So again, this is a brand new tornado warning for Morgan County. So let's take a look at this, zoom in, and see exactly what we're looking at as far as the timing and the impacts go. Tavian, how fast is this storm moving?
35 miles per hour.
Thank you. I left my laptop in the green screen. All right, 35 miles an hour. So let's go ahead and reset this for this single, for this brand new tornado warning for Morgan, Coalfield, Lansing, Oakdale, and the Wartburg area. So if I just mentioned your town, you need to get to your safe space right now. So again, it's moving about 35 miles an hour. So near about 4 minutes until it's near D. Armand, 7 minutes until it's in Union, 11 minutes till Coalfield, 13 minutes until it's in the Jonesville area, 17 minutes until Kellytown, about 20 minutes until it's in Oliver Springs, 21 minutes until it's near Upper Windrock. Oak Ridge has about 25 minutes. Jackson Square has about 28 minutes. and also 28 minutes till the John F. Burns Center for Community Mental Health Services will be seeing this storm. So let's widen out the bigger picture, show you all that we're seeing. So if you're in Knox County East, even Anderson County right now, we're not seeing any strong showers and thunderstorms yet, but we're looking at these multiple thunderstorm and tornado warnings. So again, this is what we're looking at. I'm going to go ahead and go to the wall here real quick, and we're going to talk about each of them as well. All right. So again, if you are just tuning in, the time right now is 6:37 on your Sunday evening. We're tracking multiple watches, I should say multiple warnings here in East Tennessee. The red you see, those are tornado warnings. The yellows are thunderstorm warnings. And we're not going anywhere until these tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. So if you're in any of these highlighted areas, get to your safe space right now. All right, so zooming in, this is what we're seeing for our first tornado warning in our northern counties. You can actually see it's just right there, starting to move into the Elk Valley area. This is a tornado warning right now for Campbell and Scott County. If you're near Helenwood, still watching that chance for some strong storms. Huntsville is actually out of the clear, but you're still under that tornado warning for about 20 more minutes. Oneida, still, you're pretty much in the clear as well. Actually, you're just barely on that tornado warning right there. This tornado warning for Campbell and Scott County looking to expire right around 7 o'clock this evening, but still producing some very strong winds and also some large hail. That hail is 1 inch in diameter, so that's about the size of a quarter. Looking as far as the track goes, near Newcomb Elementary School, 3 minutes, get to your safe space. Newcomb itself, 4 minutes. Habersham, 13 minutes. If you're in the Duff area, you have 17 minutes to get to your safe space. And when we say safe space, we're talking basement, lower interior room, maybe a hallway, a bathroom, anything that doesn't have windows. All right, looks like that just extended, actually. All right, give me 1 second here. This is what we're looking at, a brand new, Tavian, am I right, another tornado warning just came down.
You are 35 miles per hour,
right.
Campbell, Scott County, till 7:30.
All right, so what we're looking at here, we're gonna go back to the computer. So Oneida, Huntsville, Norma, you're in the clear. We're gonna reset this. So if you are in Elk Valley, Habersham, Jellicoe, this tornado warning is in effect till 7:30 this evening. And this is still moving about 35 miles an hour. So the towns I was just listing, it's updating. So let's go ahead and reset this. All right, so 4 minutes until it's near Stinking Creek Elementary School, 11 minutes until it's near the Habersham area, 12 minutes until it's near Little White Oak, and also about 16 minutes until it's near the Tackett Creek area. If you're near Clarefield, you have about 20 minutes until this system will be moving into your region, about 27 minutes until it's near Wells Springs United Methodist Church. So we're still watching this one system. We're going to go ahead and reset and look at this brand new tornado warning that just came down for Campbell and Scott County. You can see it's kind of overlapping right there from the previous tornado warning that was near Oneida, Huntsville. That's going to expire soon, but now a new one has been issued for Elk Valley, Habersham, near Fincastle. So let's take a look at the velocity, which is a scientific term for the winds. Elk Valley, you need to get to your safe space right now. You can see that red right there mixed in with that green. That is rotation as far as the winds go. So let's see how fast these winds are moving. All right, that one's not helpful. Okay, let's try that again. If we can get the computer to go. Come on. All right, looks like we're not getting many good readings right now, but we are still watching the significant rotation. You can see it was updating, that's why. All right, if you are along Highway 2297, you need to get to your safe space. This is right just southwest of Elk Valley. If you're near Terry Creek School, head southwest. Do not head northeast on that highway, on Highway 297. Elk Valley, get to your safe space right now. I know we keep saying that, but it's very important. Tornadoes are no joke at all. All right, so we're gonna reset here. We're watching multiple tornado and thunderstorm warnings issued right now. So let's go ahead and go down towards the Wartburg area. Still watching another line of showers and thunderstorms. So if you're near Crab Orchard, you're in the clear. Everything looks fine, but that tornado warning still hasn't been allowed to expire just yet, but we're really watching this one right here, still in Morgan County for near the Coalfield area, but Lansing, Oakdale, and Wartburg. So let's go ahead and turn on the velocity here and see exactly what we're looking at as far as this rotation goes. All right, and we just have a brand new thunderstorm warning come down. I'll get to that here in just a moment, but I want to look at these winds right here and see what we're seeing as far as the rotation goes. All right, so near Oakdale, Harriman, Wartburg, we're seeing winds anywhere between about 20 to 45 miles an hour. All right, so again, as far as the timing goes for this tornado warning, let's turn the radar back on, and this is still moving once again at 30 miles an hour northeast, east. All right, so looking just a little bit closer, this is what we're seeing as far as this track goes. All right. All right, Coalfield, you have less than 5 minutes to get to your safe space. Jonesville, 6 minutes. Kellytown, 11 minutes. Oliver Springs, about 13 minutes. If you're in Poplar, 17 minutes. Oak Ridge, you have 20 minutes until this possible tornado, I should say, will be in your town. Jackson Square, 24 minutes, and about 29 minutes until it's near Birchfield Heights. All right, let's zoom out here and let's look at this brand new thunderstorm warning that just came down. Oh my, all right. There's a lot going on right there near the Tennessee and Kentucky and the Virginia border. There's multiple tornado warnings, multiple thunderstorm warnings. Let's look at, if I can even get it to highlight, it's highlighting both these tornado warnings, which is also even more important, honestly. So let's go ahead and play this loop, see everything that we're looking at as far as this line goes. So that's what we're seeing there, right there. We're tracking multiple tornado warnings, multiple thunderstorm warnings for, looks like for Campbell and Scott County, the one that's highlighted. So if you're in Helenwood, Huntsville, Oneida, we're watching not one line, but 2 rounds of showers and thunderstorms that have the potential for producing a tornado. So we're going to pause this and take a look at its track. We're going to go zoom in towards Jamestown in Fentress County. All right. And this is what we're seeing. All right. So this, once again, is moving east. Okay. So this one's moving east still, about 30 miles an hour. I apologize, the computer had to reset there for a moment. It's thinking. All right, so this is the latest loop. We are watching a tornado warning in Morgan County. We're watching a tornado warning for right here in Fentress County, another tornado warning in Campbell and Scott County, and also still in Campbell and Scott County. So I want to take the warnings off here. All right, we did just have one of those tornado warnings get canceled for Campbell and Scott County. However, you are not in the clear yet if you're in Campbell and Scott County, because we are still watching this one single cell right here that's moving into Elk Valley right now. So I want to turn the velocity on to go back to the winds here and take a look at this track. All right. So we're zooming into Elk Valley. This is what we're seeing as far as that rotation goes. It's right along Highway 75. So if you are moving or if you are driving into Elk Valley from northbound lanes, you need to turn around or you need to stop. You need to get to a safe place right now. And let's try that again. Get back to the velocity here for Elk Valley. Let's take a look at these winds right here. All right, so we're seeing winds. Come on. Let's see here. We're still seeing some fairly strong winds. The computer just isn't reading it very well, but we're still seeing that potential for some rotation near Elk Valley. So let's turn the radar back on for the Elk Valley area and take a look at this track as well. I'm going to turn the warnings off because I know it's hard to see with all these different colors, but if you're near Stinking Creek Road, get to your safe space. Stinking Creek Elementary School, also get to your safe place. But if you are in Elk Valley itself, I mean, look at that light. Actually, I want to look at the hail because that looks kind of impressive. Oh, wow. Turn that warning off. You see that shade of light blue right there? We're seeing hail right now just north of Stanfield, almost 1 inch in diameter right now. All right, so we're seeing almost quarter-size hail near Elk Valley, near Stanfield Road. If your cars are outdoors, I mean, at this point, your life is more important than your vehicle. But there's that potential for your car and your windows and your roofs to be damaged because of this very large hail. So I'm going to turn the radar back on because we're seeing a decent amount of hail right now near Stanfield. Let's turn that warning off so you can see exactly. All right, so the system is moving once again. This has just updated recently. We'll play this again near Elk Valley, right there. All right, so right now, we're still seeing a decent amount of some of those strong showers and thunderstorms in the Elk Valley area, but it's also moving east really quickly. So as far as the timing of this system goes, I'll turn the warnings back on so you can see exactly where this tornado warning is. Again, this tornado warning is issued for Campbell and Scott County. If you're in Elk Valley, Habersham, Jellicoe, now's the time to get to your safe space. But we haven't forgotten about the other tornado warnings that we're watching. Let's go over towards Fentress County. Not only are we watching a single tornado warning, we're also watching multiple thunderstorm warnings right around that. So let's look at the rotation, which is the velocity, which is how strong the winds are. So this is what we're seeing right now. We're watching a little bit of that rotation. Let's see some of these wind speeds right along here. All right, looks like we're seeing winds around 20 to 30 miles an hour, it looks like. Let's see if National Weather Service has posted anything. All right. Nothing new from what I can see from the National Weather Service at the moment. I spoke too soon. Hey, Tavian, when that mesoscale discussion comes down, can you keep us updated, please? Thank you. All right. I'm joined here with meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst. We are tag teaming this severe weather. We're not going anywhere. If you're tuning in for local programming, right now we are watching multiple thunderstorm and tornado warnings for East Tennessee. So we're watching actually 3 tornado warnings right now and 2 thunderstorm warnings. Let's go down towards Morgan County and look at this single tornado warning that we're looking at right here. It has the potential of producing hail 1 inch in diameter. So let's take a look at that hail track. Doesn't look as impressive, but still we're seeing a little bit. I know this gray blob doesn't look like a lot, but there's still that potential for some hail. So let's see what we're seeing here. About a quarter-size inch of hail. So still some small, about dime-size hail just west of the Oakdale area. And again, let's go ahead and take a look at the winds for this tornado warning in Morgan County. Oh, wow. Okay. So if you're in... All right. We're also being joined on social media by meteorologist Rebecca Sweet. She's helping us out from home right now, talking about stuff that you guys are sending in on social. Keep sending in your stuff safely. Your life is more important than a post. But if you can, send us your information our way, and we'll gladly show it when we can. And it also helps us as well. All right, taking a look at these winds in Morgan County, right near, all right, well, just updated, right near White Oak School, White Oak Road. Let's see, what else is it nearby? Camp Austin Road, Clayton Howard Road. Let's take a look at these winds right here, which is also called the velocity. All right, we're seeing winds around 64 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 25 miles an hour. So this is still very windy. And again, this is the 57 mile an hour gusts, 40. All right, let's take a look at this radar loop once again. This is for Morgan County. And as far as the loop of this goes, near Coalfield, Lansing, Oakdale looks to be almost in the clear, actually. We're zooming in at Oakdale. I'm going to turn the warning off just so I can see it a little bit better. Oakdale, you're under that tornado warning, but it looks like you are in the clear. It's staying... Let me go back there. I apologize for that. All right, so again, Oakdale. Yeah, Oakdale looks to be in the clear with this. we're really watching right along just north of Camp Austin Road. I actually want to stop and look at this hail again. I mean, look at that purple right there. That looks pretty intense. Take a look at the hail one more time. It's even, doesn't look like we're seeing, okay, here we go. Just west of White Oak School. Again, I know this gray blob doesn't look like much, but this is a big indicator of hail, about almost half an inch in diameter hail to quarter size. Yeah, half size hail right near White Oak School and also right near Hedrick Road. So our biggest takeaway with these warnings is we're seeing very gusty winds. We're also seeing some large hail as well. Thank you, yeah. All right, so we do have that thunderstorm warning that has been allowed to continue for Loudoun, Meigs, Monroe, Ray, and Roane counties. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Once again. Also, I apologize for the beeping. That is my laptop with the National Weather Service, so that way I can get the latest information, we can get the latest information, and relay it to you guys. All right. So this one tornado warning actually looks to continue to weaken or just get smaller and smaller in Fentress County, but it still hasn't been allowed to expire yet. But I still want to look at this hail once again. All right, I'm going to take off the warnings here, but if you are anywhere near Stockton School, it looks like Godad School, East Jamestown School, Leatherwood Ford Road, Possum Rock, Coopertown Road, anywhere on this screen, get to your safe space. But what we're looking at here, I'm going to take these warnings off and take a look at this hail as well. Again, I know it's a gray blob, but this gives us information. Right now we're seeing hail a little over a quarter inch in size in diameter. So still very, very, very impressive. I'm going to turn that radar back on and we're going to zoom out. We're going to do a little quick reset, show you everything that we're seeing as far as tornado warnings and thunderstorm warnings. So if you are just tuning in, time right now is 6:54 on your Sunday evening. We're watching multiple tornado warnings and multiple thunderstorm warnings for our northern and eastern counties. If you're in Knox County right now, I'm sure a lot of people have been asking, we're not under any thunderstorm or tornado warnings right now. We're just watching it to our north and also to our west. This is what we're looking at as far as the system. So we have this one tornado warning right now in Morgan County that's highlighted, another one just to our north in Fentress County that's highlighted, and another one for Campbell and Scott County. So as far as the timing of this goes, if you're in Campbell and Scott County, right now this tornado warning looking to expire right around 7:30 this evening. If you're in Fentress County at 6:15 Central Time, so 7:15 Eastern Time. If you're down towards Morgan County, 7:15 Eastern Time. So the one in Morgan and Fentress County are supposed to expire around the same time at 7:15 Eastern Time, but we're also watching this one in Campbell and Scott County that continues to shift east and is looking to expire around 7:30 this evening. But let's zoom in, look a little bit closer as far as this system goes. I'm going to turn the warnings off here once again so you can see exactly what we're looking at. Right now, Elk Valley, you are in the clear. You are done with that storm. Right along Stinking Creek Road, Stinking Creek Elementary School. If you're in Habersham, now's the time to get to your safe space. I want to take a look at this track once again. And we do have another thunderstorm warning that will pop up. All right, actually we do have some video, so let's go ahead and take a look at that if we have the chance here. Let's see what we got right here.
So we got this report. Is my mic on? Can we hear me?
Yes.
So we've got this report here from Andy Lassard that came out of Crossville, saying that he's near the Walmarts in the area nearby. Yes, the Walmart in Cumberland County. This is a insane video actually that he was able to send us. I'm really glad he was able to send it. I hope that he's safe and anybody in that area is safe as well. This is a little bit further away from one that we were seeing further up in the Huntsville area, the one that was near Aglet. Again, this one is further down into the plateau. Now, mind you, this system is the same one that we were seeing further down west that is now getting into parts of Morgan County. So those of you that are in that area, you guys are going to want to make sure that you are staying safe. This storm is moving just to the south of Wartburg, getting towards Coalfield, Oliver Springs. Again, you can see that tornado make that touchdown, cars zooming by before it finally starts to rise back up into the sky after just a couple of seconds. But even that little bit of time is dangerous enough. There's likely surprisingly, some decent hail coming along with that as well. You can watch the rotation of those greater clouds. It's a surprisingly wide storm as well. It seems to have some pretty deep breath before it makes its way all the way down. And then it slowly kind of starts to break apart and make its way further back up. So again, that was from the tornado warning that was in Cumberland County that was moving just to the north of Crab Orchard before it started to make its way further over to the east into parts of Morgan County. So we can take things back to the radar for now. This is give you a look at the storm that we are seeing in the area, sitting just down into the south, just south of Wartburg to the north of Oakdale. Looks like it's going to be moving north of Coalfield in just a couple of minutes. It's almost going to be out of that polygon. So it doesn't look like that there are any updates on this system in particular, but I figure we can take an opportunity to look at the velocity of this storm. So it looks like we're still seeing a little bit of these brighter blues here that can signify some greater winds. You see 55 miles per hour there. You can see likely even a little bit further. Is it the tornado warning that was canceled? Gotcha. So let me zoom out just a little bit. I can give you a look at the radar once again. We are now seeing the tornado warning that was in Scott County is now canceled. So we got a bit of an open space here, but you guys still are under a severe thunderstorm warning. So you're going to want to keep an eye out for that hail getting over an inch, over a quarter size. There is still the tornado warning that we are seeing right now in Fentress County. So these storms are going to be moving into Scott County in just a couple of minutes. So that is still going to be something that you're going to want to keep on your radar because it is on ours as well. We can give a little bit of a track here. Let me actually turn this down so we can see the system just a little bit better. But yes, if you are still in Scott County, you're clear of the original severe tornado warning. But there is still, again, these tornado creating possibly storms that are going to be moving into your region. This larger mass right here that's in a bit of Fentress and a little bit of Pickett County is going to be heading right into your region. So if we take that down and kind of swing it across the rest of the county, this is something you guys could be experiencing within the next half hour. So those of you in Helenwood, you got about 10 minutes. Black Creek, 4 minutes. Atomic School, that's going to be after 11 minutes. Oneida, 12. Winfield, just about 20 minutes. And if you're near a Straight Fork School, that's going to be getting in without a half hour. That's likely on the other side of Scott County there. So again, you're just going to want to make sure that you are being careful, keeping your eyes peeled for some of these warnings as they continue to make their way over, because they're not going to create the swath for the entire area at once. They're going to watch it piece by piece because a lot can change in a couple minutes, even a couple of seconds. So you see there's a whole lot of lightning here in these storms. There's a whole lot of strength, some heavy rain coming along with this as well. We can take a look at the velocity of this storm, get a little bit of a better look, and you can see that little couplet that we would be watching right around here. You see here, this is a little bit of a darker gray, but it's contrasting here with this bright blue. So it's just possible we're not seeing the winds on the kind of level that we are looking at with this radar right now, but we can still get an eye on what these winds are doing right now with that bright blue. 67 miles per hour right there. 62. So either winds getting upwards, if not a little bit greater than 70 miles per hour. So that is definitely severe strength. These winds can not only cause damage on their own, but they can of course create that rotation for some of those tornadoes to be possible. So give you a look at the radar yet again, sitting on the edge of Fentress County, just like one of the first tornado warnings that we saw as everything was really starting to pick up in activity. So now that's going to continue to make its way over west as we get into this next half hour. Now on the flip side, Kaylee spent a lot of time in it earlier, but we are still watching this tornado warning here in Campbell County, sitting essentially right over Habersham. So if we get a better look at that right now, we can really start to show you the direction that it is sitting in. So we turn down the polygon just a little bit so you can see things a little bit better. Again, sitting right over top of Habersham. A lot of those strong storms sitting. You see a little bit of that sliver of purple. Luckily, the system is moving into the northeast, so it's going to be moving into Kentucky a little bit soon. Might clip the edge. It might clip the edge of Claiborne County as it gets a little bit further on out of Campbell. So those of you in Clairfield, you guys are going to keep an eye out for that as well. And try to give you an idea of the track. I'll let it play one more time so we can see it kind of make its way through. Yeah, so it's making that somewhat direct movement, going from Habersham, getting towards Clairfield, and even the areas beyond. So Morley in just a couple of minutes, Tackett Creek in under 6 minutes, Buffalo School about 15 minutes. If you're in Pearl, that's about 20 minutes. Getting towards Goins, that's within a half hour. We're going to continue to watch that storm make its move. So move this out of the way, move the camera a little bit over so you can kind of see what direction that's heading in. Again, making its way down into parts of southeastern Kentucky, and again maybe clipping just a little bit of Claiborne County as well with some of those stronger storms. We can switch over to the velocity for a little bit. and kind of see more of those strong winds. We're looking for some of that bright green and some of that bright red. Well, we don't want it, but it is something that we, of course, are watching for. Try and throw up a couple of these question marks, see if we can get some decent wind speeds off of this. You see around close to 40 miles per hour. That's also close to 40 miles per hour. Again, a lot of that system hanging around the Habersham area. So still very gusty winds as this continues to move on. Again, this storm is moving with some decent intensity as well. That's going to be going for another half hour as that continues to make its way on. So it'll likely keep making its move and moving into Kentucky as we get forward. We look just to the north. There's a new very large severe thunderstorm warning in parts of Kentucky, including nearly all of our Kentucky counties, looking like a bit of McCreary, Whitley, Knox County, Kentucky, and Bell County. That's including Williamsburg and Saxton for a severe thunderstorm. You can really watch this fully definitive line that is forming actually as you make your way down from Mount Victory even down into Pine Knot. So we can watch the trajectory of those storms as they make their way in, still making that somewhat northeasterly movement. So we can draw that somewhat from top down to bottom. And if we follow that movement that's been going, it's moving towards North Corbin, Williamsburg, Kentucky. You guys are going to be up next in these next couple of minutes. You see 10 minutes on the dot. So keep an eye out for it. Those gusty winds over 60 miles per hour. That hail getting upwards, if not greater than an inch in diameter. That's going to be some quarter-sized hail. So Williamsburg, about 10 minutes. North Corbin in about 16 minutes. Gray, 20 minutes. Barberville, 30 minutes. So definitely make sure you're being safe. And you guys are seeing these stronger storms come in waves. As we're getting closer to the 8 o'clock hour and really the nighttime hours as a whole, this is around the time that we're going to start to get more of that organization. I didn't have too much time to talk about it earlier, but now as we get into the late night, if we zoom out just a little bit, we can move that out. There we go. If we switch that out just a little bit, we're now starting to get a little bit more of that that unification really of these storms. So we're now watching kind of a wider swath start to make its way through. You can see Jamesville getting towards Huntstown. That storm's passing over Wartburg. Further down to the south, we're seeing those stronger storms switching Rockwood and Sweetwater, getting to parts of Roane and Loudoun counties and continuing to make their way further east. So those of you in parts of western Knox County, we could keep an eye out for some of these storms as we get through, but since they're moving to the northeast, more so bits of Anderson County. Surprisingly, Union County hasn't gotten too much rain yet, but it somewhat looks like this cell here moving its way just north of Oak Ridge could be headed in towards Union County. So those of you that are in Maynardville, that is when you're going to want to really start to keep an eye on some of these storms. Let me show you right around. And who was that? We got a tornado warning for Campbell and Scott County. Let's see if we can pop that up. And there she is. This should be about the same one that we were looking at earlier. We have got Campbell and Scott counties. We're still looking at this one just into the Habersham area. This is about the same one that we were looking for earlier. That's going to go until 7:30. There should be a new one going until about 7:45. Let's see. This one is still in Fentress County. Looking for a new one in Scott and Campbell County. Looks like it has not popped up just yet, but we're going to continue to watch for these storms because that's mainly going to be paying attention to this larger, it's going to be paying attention to this larger system right here as it's making its way out of Fentress, heading into Campbell, even a little bit of possibly Claiborne County. You could clip a little bit of that as it continues to make its way over. We zoom out just a little bit more, that wider scale, really the northern plateau is who is getting a lot of this action right now. We now have 3 thunderstorm warnings that are in effect, and it looks like about 3 tornado warnings that are in effect and 3 severe thunderstorm warnings that are in effect. All of these showing winds over 60 to 80 miles per hour, hail getting over an inch, some places an inch and a half in diameter. We had that tornado video that came from Mr. Lasser coming out of Cumberland County. I really appreciate that. We are seeing some very large hail in Elk Valley. So let's see if we can take a look here. So there are 2 ways that we can look at hail, and it looks like method number 1 is going to be our literal hail, radar piece. And so if we take a look at that, kind of let that update for us, we're seeing a little bit of a core just to the south of Wartburg and Morgan County. But other than that, we're not seeing too much. But something else that we can look at is our vertically integrated liquid. That is also shown to be a bit on the sparser side. However, if you zoom in a little bit, you can see this streak of blue going through Follett just over a little bit of Campbell County. So that is something that we're continuing to keep an eye on. There we go. Finally filled its way in. So if you take a look at this, the vertically integrated liquid. You can see all of these bright colors where we can see a lot of not only moisture, but a lot of that hail. Vertical motion is what is going to create that hail as it's moving in and out of the cloud, upwards and downwards. And so we can see that throughout the entirety of the region. So that's what we're watching in terms of hail as a whole. But for now, I'm going to send things over to Kaylee for a little bit. She's going to give you a second look at your radar and help you fill in the blanks on anything that I could have missed in the meantime. Kaylee, how's it looking?
Tavian, thanks so much. Yeah, we're working as best as we can here. Myself and meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst tag teaming. If you are just tuning in, the time right now is 7:07 on your Sunday evening. And we're watching some very strong showers and thunderstorms moving into the region. That red you see, those red polygons, are tornado warnings. Those yellows are severe thunderstorm warnings. So quite an active evening right now for parts of East Tennessee. And we're going to break down exactly what we're seeing as far as these showers and thunderstorms and even possible tornadoes go. And we're going to keep you updated both on air and online as far as these systems go. So first off, I want to zoom in, go all the way up towards our northern counties, right near Campbell County. This is what we're seeing. Right now, a tornado warning still issued right around 7:30 is expected to expire, so about 20 minutes. If you are near Habersham, you need to get to your safe space. But if you're south of Habersham, you're fine. You are in the clear. But looking towards our northern part of Habersham, you can see that little bit of highlight right there, the yellows, the reds, very strong showers and thunderstorms. So as far as the timing of this goes, again, Campbell County, under that severe tornado warning till 7:30 this evening. Clearfield, you have 2 minutes to get to your safe space. Same thing for Clearfield Elementary School. Hamlin Town, you have 4 minutes to get to your safe space. And what we mean by safe space, if you're in a mobile home, get out. Get out. You need to go to a more stable building. I know that's kind of difficult sometimes, but please, the possible tornado in rotation, the winds could pick up that mobile home and could be even more dangerous to you and your family. So get to the lowest level of your home or whatever building you're in. It could be a basement, a low level first floor interior room, a bathroom, a hallway, anything that doesn't have windows, as far inside and as far low as you possibly can. So again, 12 minutes till it reaches Rising Spring Church, 17 minutes until it's near Speedwell, and 19 minutes until it's near the Bollinger School area. You can see some of those numbers changing right there. So 1 minute till it's near Clearfield, 3 minutes till it's near Hamlin Town, right around 11 minutes till it's near Rising Spring Church, Speedwell, 16 minutes, and about 18 minutes until it's near Bollinger School. Again, this tornado warning we're seeing for Campbell County right around 7:30 this evening. And we're going to continue to monitor this. We're watching stuff on the National Weather Service. Got my laptop right here, and we're watching it. We're keeping you updated both on air and online, and let's see. Looks like we have a brand new tornado warning. We're going to go back here. Going to go back to the Weather Center. This includes Anderson, Campbell, Knox, Morgan, and Scott County. A brand new tornado warning has just come down. All right, we're gonna let the computer load here. And again, we're not going anywhere. With these multiple tornado warnings, multiple thunderstorm warnings, this is what we're seeing. All right, so this brand new tornado warning that was just in the Morgan County area, still is, it has now been allowed to extend to include Anderson, Campbell, part of Knox County, and Morgan County. So this is what we're seeing. If you are near Caryville, Clinton, Norris, and Rocky Top, you need to get to your safe space right now. We're seeing the potential for hail, 1.5 inches in diameter, and also that potential for a tornado near Wartburg. And we're gonna look at this track because this is still moving. They're all moving around 30 miles an hour. So again, if you're near Coalfield, Clinchmore, Rocky Top, or Clinton, look at that polygon. I'm gonna take that off here. We're gonna zoom in and we're gonna look at this track. So you see, this is the cell that we're watching. This little thing right here. Right here. This is what we're looking at. It's that single cell that we're looking at for that brand new tornado warning that just came down. So as far as the track of this goes, it's still moving northeast around 30 miles an hour. So here we go. We're gonna highlight this. And I mean, it's right on the money. This is what we're seeing. If you're in Braytown, you have 1 minute to get to your safe space. Same thing for Power Plant. Windrock, you have 3 minutes, 8 minutes until it's in Charlie's Branch, 12 minutes until it's in Stainville, 15 minutes until it's in Clinchmore. Minersville, you have about 19 minutes. Briceville, 22 minutes. Rocky Top at 26 minutes. And if you're near Cumberland View Estates, it's at 28 minutes. So again, this brand new tornado warning just came down to include Anderson, Campbell, Knox, and Morgan County. So I'm going to take off the warning again. The warning has not expired, but I know it's a little difficult to see. But I want to take a look at the velocity, which is the wind, to see if we see any. All right, we do see some rotation, it looks like. Let's take a look at how strong these winds are. Right near Coalfield, right near the highway. All right, while I do that, we actually have some brand new video. If we can take a look at that here real quick. Tavian, do you have a moment to describe this, what we're seeing right now?
Absolutely. We're taking a look at a video from Steve Fan. This is going to be coming out of the Crossville area. This is just another look at that tornado that we were seeing earlier from Mr. Lassad. It looks like it's a little bit wispier, but still you can see all those cars speeding by trying to get to a safe place. A lot of that, much of that system, really the tornado as a whole, was moving to the east. So you see people traveling in the opposite direction. That is always a great idea if you're not already inside, which of course is the best idea that you could possibly have. This was the same system that we were seeing make its way through Cumberland County, passing Crossville, passing the Crab Orchard area, that then moved into Morgan County, is making its way through Morgan. And this is now the same system with this newest tornado warning that is including Anderson, Campbell, Morgan, and Knox counties. Now, this is just a little sliver of Knox County as of right now, but we're going to continue to watch that because this is the really higher metropolitan area as we get closer into the city of Knoxville. So you're taking a look right now at what I kind of had set up about the track of this system. This tornado warning going to be going until 8 p.m. If you're in Laurel Grove, you got about 4 minutes. Leonard, 6 minutes. Westwood Estates, around 10 minutes. Rocky Top, also about 10 minutes. Hillvale, a little under 15. Hillvale, Norris, Melbourne, Demery, all those under about 20 minutes. You get to Paulette, that's about 25 minutes. Maynardville is in that direction as well as you're getting into Union County. It doesn't include Union County quite yet, but honestly, if you take a look right here, I'll clear this all out and zoom in just a little bit. You can really see that you guys are going to be up next if this storm actually maintains its strength. That border is lying right along this line from Mofollet all the way down just a little to the west of Coreyton, right there along 33. So as you're getting in towards Maynardville, you're going to want to make sure that you are staying prepared. Either stay here with us. This is a good time to grab your emergency supplies before things get a little too crazy for you. Hopefully your phone is charged. You got some water, maybe a snack or something. You got to make sure that you're keeping yourself safe. Kaylee's kept mentioning if you're in a mobile home, this would be a good time to get out of that. Find a more safer, stable, attached to the ground kind of edifice to make sure that you are keeping yourself safe. And it looks like Kaylee is about ready. Had to switch things up a little bit. Just wanted to show you some of that videos. If you get into Crossville, we're not seeing a lot of these stronger storms move their way a little bit further into the east. So now that edge of the plateau, getting down into parts of the Northern Valley as well. Again, much of Campbell, Anderson, getting towards Union County, but still including much of Scott as well. Kaylee, I'm going to send things over to you. How are things looking?
Tavian, thanks so much. And it looks like that tornado warning that was just near the Wartburg area has been allowed to expire as it moves its way northeast. But something else Tavian mentioned, along with your emergency supply kit, you want to have shoes on. You need to have shoes on in case you happen to be in a situation where your home happens to be damaged and you have to go outside in the rubble. That way your feet are not barefoot. Very important. And if these storms continue to be strong, not a bad idea to even put a baseball hat on, a baseball cap or baseball helmet on, a bike helmet on, just to protect yourself from any flying debris possible. So something very interesting while Tavian was talking, I was looking at the models right here. I still want to look at this brand new tornado warning that came down just a moment ago for Anderson, Campbell, Knox, and Morgan County. This is the tornado warning that was just near the Wartburg area just a moment ago, but this is very interesting. You see this right here, hail 1.5 inches in diameter. Yeah, we're seeing some very large amounts of hail. So first, again, we're seeing that tornado warning, but look at this. The velocity right now, which is the winds, we're seeing winds, all right, didn't say, but we're seeing winds right now around 50 to 60 miles an hour just in this system alone. We'll keep you updated with that, but this is what I really want to see. And of course, this just updated as well. But we're seeing hail. Look at this bright purple or bright blue. Just a moment ago, it was around 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. So we're going to continue to watch this. Yeah, Tavian?
Just saw 87 mile Power winds west of Oak Ridge.
All right, we're gonna go back here. Tavian, thanks so much. So again, what Tavian mentioned, we saw 87-mile-per-hour winds just near the Oak Ridge area. So we're seeing some very strong winds with not one system, but multiple systems right near Oliver Springs. You can see right there, look at that system right there. That blue, the green, the red, indicating some very gusty winds. If you are in Oliver Springs, get to your safe place right now. And again, we're still looking at this very large amount of hail, at least 1 to 1.5 inches in diameter. And again, if you are just tuning in, we're watching multiple thunderstorm and tornado warnings. So let's take a little reset here. If you are in Knox County, North Knox County, if you're in West Knox, South Knox, East Knox, we're not under any tornado warnings right now. But this is what we're seeing. We're watching 3 tornado warnings right now in our area, but also that yellow you see, multiple thunderstorm warnings as well. So let's zoom in as the computer continues to update. We'll keep you updated both on air and also online. So again, just tuning in, Anderson, Campbell, Knox, and Morgan County under a tornado warning until 8 o'clock this evening. So this is still about 45 minutes away. We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep you updated both on air and also online. But this is the system we are looking at just a little bit closer, looking at this track. All right, we're going to get that track here for you in just a moment. But if you're in the Oliver Springs area right now, get to your safe place. You can see right there, right along Petros High School, the power plant heading your way. All these showers and thunderstorms are moving around 30 miles an hour. And you can see just between a minute ago to now, this system has moved from here to here. But this little gray blob you're seeing right here, that's hail about 1/4 inch in diameter. So that's about the size of a dime, about the size of a penny. And we're going to continue to see some very strong winds, but also some large hail. Another tornado we're looking at right now is in Campbell County. If you're near Habersham, actually you're in the clear. Look at that. Just as we were on, you're in the clear. We are not seeing any tornado warnings right now near Habersham. That has been allowed to expire. You can actually fast forward from that track right here. We had that all prepared, and Habersham, you can relax. We're not tracking any strong showers and thunderstorms in your neighborhood right now. But looking up towards parts of southeast Kentucky, we are still under a severe thunderstorm warning until 7:30 this evening. It's about another 10 minutes for parts of Knox, McCreary, and Whitley County. Again, this is southeast Kentucky, but you folks are still part of our viewing area, and we want to keep you safe as well. The severe thunderstorm warning includes Corbin, Pine Knot, Saxton, and Williamsburg, Kentucky. Again, this is until about 7:30 this evening. But we're also watching this tornado warning for parts of Campbell and Scott County. I know this is all kind of jumbled up. There's a lot of colors. The red is that tornado warning. These shades of yellow all across the area, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. But we're really watching this tornado warning in Campbell and Scott County, includes Helenwood, Oneida, and Winfield. So Helenwood, right there. Yeah, you are in the bulk of that very heavy showers and thunderstorms right now. So again, if you are just tuning in, tornado warning for Campbell and Scott County. Right now I'm joined by meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst and Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell just walked in, and also meteorologist Rebecca Sweet is tuning in at home helping us out. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to keep you safe both on air and also online. So as far as this system goes for that tornado warning near Campbell and Scott County, again, this is the track of it. It's moving east right around 30 miles an hour. And look at that wind. Well, it has just updated, but we're seeing winds around 20 to 30 miles an hour. The hail in that area actually has calmed down just a little bit, but we're going to go ahead and reset. Right now, another. So there's 3 tornado warnings we're looking at right now. This includes Anderson, Campbell, Knox, and Morgan County. You can see right now it's just north of Oliver Springs and also heading towards the Clinton area very soon. If you are in Oliver Springs, right now you're north of it. So it includes Caryville, Clinton, Norris, and Rocky Top. All right, we're going to continue to see the chance for some
2 tornado warnings. Northern Campbell County was canceled.
All right, Tavian just updated. We have now 2 tornado warnings. So let's go ahead and do the reset. We're going to go back here at the beginning of this weather hit. If you are just tuning in, we are watching 2 tornado warnings. We're going to go ahead and step on off here, do a little reset, and show you exactly what we're seeing. Tavian, thank you for that information. If you want to tell the viewers more about that, or if you want me to, I can.
Is up and ready to go. So we had the tornado warning that was originally in Campbell County that was just that was really just including Habersham, the city of Habersham, but that has since gone away. So now if you take a look at the full regional view, we have 2 tornado warnings and 3 severe thunderstorm warnings. Actually, there may technically be 4. It looks like this one here between Morgan and Fentress counties are just kind of connected right there at their borders. But the 2 tornado warnings are still going to be main threats. One of them going, again, Anderson, Campbell, Knox, and Morgan County. That's what Kaylee was just talking about. That's going to be going until 8 p.m. I actually wanted to show something called the vertical liquid again to get a better idea of what this hail was showing, because the hail one itself wasn't actually giving us what we needed. But if you take a look here, all these really bright colors are showing where, again, that vertical liquid is. We're seeing the movement and the creation of some of that bigger hail, and the greater that it is, the more of those colors that we are going to see. So the main one that we're looking at right now, this is for the severe the tornado warning that's including parts of Anderson, Campbell, Knox, and a bit of Morgan County. You can see those deep pinks and reds. That is going to be signifying some pretty intense hail that's happening over there. We look further into the north. We've got some decent hail into the northwest of Sunbright, getting into Fentress County. This is that second storm that is seeing those severe thunderstorms and that tornado warning. Look further over into the northwest of Habersham, getting it towards Campbell and Claiborne County. As the system's on its way out, it looks like it's shrinking, so that vertical liquid is starting to decline right along with it. But even further down south, I wanted to take a second to go down into Paint Rock, a little bit of Roane County. You are seeing more of those deep purples and reds and pinks that are signifying some pretty intense hail as well. So we're seeing that hail getting over 1.5 inches in diameter, which is a pretty large size right there. So definitely might see some dings on the roof, maybe some dings in the car, but that's okay, because that's what insurance is for. That all can get fixed. Safety is going to be the #1 thing that we are focusing on. So going to take a look at some of these storms again. Starting right here with this one, if we take a look at the velocity, see if we can get a better idea of where that core might lie. And I'm seeing 2 spots right now with some higher winds. We've got some of this greater green right here to the northwest of the power point. That's getting upwards of 50 miles per hour. But over here, that blue is always going to signify some gusty winds. And there you go, 67 miles per hour just into the northeast of Oliver Springs. So that's something that we are keeping an eye on. If you trade that off with the radar again, we can actually kind of see that storm is holding farther off to the north. So that storm hanging off into the north, showing some of those weaker winds, slightly weaker winds than, say, the one we saw a little bit closer to Oliver Springs. We're now watching the greater body of that make its way just to the south of Clinchmore. We can zoom in a little bit more, so you can get more of those labels again. There we go. So if you're by the power plant, Flatwood School, Dutch Valley Elementary School, around Briceville Highway, and getting towards Briceville Elementary School, you guys are going to be some people that especially want to make sure you are going into your safe place, because that is sitting right over your area and going to continue to pass over you. I'm going to turn off the watches and warnings for a second so we get a better look at the system itself. You're seeing some of that purple here, right here on the edge, just to the north of Frostbottom Road. A lot of those reds stretching over from the power plant over by the Flatwood School. And now that system is heading towards Rocky Top and Norris. So
new warning for Morgan and Scott till 8:15. It literally just came down.
New
tornado warning.
Well,
continue.
And welcome, Todd Howell. Oh, and we also have some new video. Very exciting. That tornado was confirmed out there in Cumberland County as we got towards Crab Orchard. So we have some new video to show you, if we can take a look at that just a second. This is coming from Elizabeth Danielle, another view of that tornado. Well, I'm a little scared that so many people were out there around this time, but I am glad that enough people seem to have been safe enough and at a distance to actually get some of that video. This is our 3rd one that we have seen here from that Crossville tornado. Definitely very impressive, very wide in size too. Definitely something we're going to be able to survey once this is all over on your Monday and Tuesday. And the National Weather Service gets the opportunity to check some of that out. But this is the same system that we are seeing right now. So it started out in parts of Cumberland County, of course, by the Crossville area, by that Walmart out there, and then it made its way over into Morgan. And now it's made its way even further into Morgan, getting towards parts of Anderson and a little bit of Knox and a little bit of Campbell County. So we're watching it make its way towards Clinchmore, Rocky Top, and we're going to continue to look at this as we get over the next coming days. I'll give you a second really quick to show you just kind of what direction the system is going to be taken. And we can continue to watch it make that northeasterly track towards Rocky Top, towards Norris. We have got Rocky Top in the next 10 minutes, Vasper in about 15 minutes, Norris in about 20 minutes. So if you're anywhere in that area or in that direction, you're going to make sure you are going to your safe place. It's going to be somewhere that is in the basement, somewhere that is with no windows. And for a little bit, you're just going to want to make sure that you are keeping an eye on everything here as well. Now, I believe if either of them are ready, you're going to make a bit of a switch maybe as we get over these next couple of hours. Of course, we've got our third member here, Todd Howell, coming here to help us out, give us a look at all the storms that we see. We got Todd Howell ready at the wall, so Todd, going to send things over to you. How are things looking for you right now?
All right, Tavian Whitehurst, Kaylee Bowers, thank you so much. Excellent coverage today. Good evening to you folks. Yeah, as Tavian and Kaylee have been telling you about several tornadic thunderstorms. That video we just saw looked like a relatively small tornado with the blue skies in the background, but pretty clear indication we've got enough wind energy in the atmosphere. What we're seeing right now, and Tavian, I think we're still going to be on max 1. I'll let you kind of drive the radar a little bit. 2 different storms I'm looking at with potentially large hail to the north and northwest of Oak Ridge, coming out of Morgan County into portions of Anderson County. That will continue to move just north of Oak Ridge and toward Clinton. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning just popped up for Knox County, and that's going to be in place, let's see, for about until 8:30. So this is the brand new severe thunderstorm warning just popping up for Knox County. This is the storm we're looking at approaching Lenoir City. That was the other storm I'm looking at right now coming out of Roane County, heads up toward the Split. Again, this particular storm right here could have some large hail passing by Kingston and coming right toward Watt Road, Dixie Lee Junction. So Lenoir City, be prepared to move into your safe place as these scattered strong storms, possibly severe damage and winds, will be tracking from Lenoir City and right toward Farragut. So we do have Blount, Knox, Loudoun, and Roane counties severe thunderstorm warning in yellow here until 8:30. Severe thunderstorm warnings in yellow, tornado warnings in red. Go ahead and widen out. Thank you, Tavian. We'll kind of do a little radar tour of all the different ones with some box zooms here. And there's what we're looking at. That's tornado warning for Morgan County coming into portions of Anderson County. Again, heads up just north of Oak Ridge. And that will continue to be tracking off to the east, northeast, toward Rocky Top and maybe near Clinton. So if you're watching us from Clinton right now, Norris, you need to be prepared to move into your safe place. This storm's racing off to the east-northeast pretty quickly, about to cross over Highway 25W, working its way just north of Oak Ridge and up toward Clinton. Again, tornado warning till 8 p.m. This is for Anderson, Campbell, northwestern Knox, northern Knox County, and Morgan counties, again, until 8 p.m. Here are the communities in the path of this possible tornado. Westwood Estates, again, Rocky Top in about 6 minutes. A lot of times with tornadic thunderstorms with speed movement, we'll go ahead and shave a few minutes off of that. So in just a couple minutes or so, Rocky Top, less than 10 minutes. Let's go ahead and say for Norris. Again, these storms are in accelerating mode, so kind of shave a few minutes off of that to be on the safe side. Right now, about 26 minutes or less. And then again, we're looking at Hines Creek Valley in less than 30 minutes. So this storm, again, tracking off to the northeast. Elsewhere around the region, we have more strong to severe storms. These have been developing this afternoon across the plateau up into Kentucky. Very strong winds aloft are really driving these storms. Now we're throwing into the equation of large hail. Earlier, Elk Valley near Pioneer in Campbell County, potential for some large hail earlier. Also seeing that potential large hail making its way out of Morgan into Anderson County. And that's the storm north of Oak Ridge, passing close to and maybe just near Clinton and Rocky Top. That may have some large hail in it as well. And the other storm we're watching is in Roane County into Loudoun County as well. 2 of those strong storms moving from Roane County east-northeast. That will again be crossing over from 321 north of 70 and continuing to track out of Roane County toward the Split, but basically going to be tracking close to Lenoir City. So if you're watching us right now from, let's say, near Lenoir City, deep west Knox County, Choteau Road area, North Shore, anywhere near Yarnell Road, Dixie Lee Junction, Watt Road, near the Split. Again, coming in from, of course, Kingston Pike area, Interstate 40. This is what we're looking at as that potential strong to severe storm. That storm's accelerating now also into portions of northern Knox County along North Shore and just south of Farragut. And we'll continue to watch these storms. Kaylee, you got some more information?
Yeah, just real quick, Todd, that tornado warning for Campbell and Scott County has been allowed to expire right now, but we are still tracking multiple tornado warnings and multiple thunderstorm warnings at the moment. But right now, Campbell and Scott County, that tornado warning has expired. Okay,
Kaylee Bowers, thank you very much for Campbell and Scott County. Again, that is some good news. Keep it right here for just a second, Tavian, because this tells the story. Where you see these red blobs, individual cells, again, each one of these has some rotation. Tavy, if you don't mind, go back to that previous screen. I want to kind of focus in on that wider view just a moment. Then we will zoom back in for Clinton because I know they're developing. But each one of these cells has the potential for some large hail, rotating winds. That's why we're seeing some of these tornado warnings, because strong winds aloft are continuing to occur. So right now, again, you can go ahead and zoom into that storm in Anderson County, Tavy, and thank you. And north of Oak Ridge, near Clinton. And again, this is what we're seeing. If you don't mind, yeah, that's exactly right. Take off the warning and stop that in just a moment. Let's go ahead and do a scope or a scan on this with potential velocity and maybe hail. It looks like it could have some large hail. We're going to look at the potential velocity scan, see if we have a couplet here between Rocky Top and Clinton, accelerating toward Norris. So Rocky Top, Clinton, Norris, Andersonville, you need to go ahead and get into your safe place right now. Again, that's what we're looking at. There's the velocity. Yeah, hold it right there. Where we see the green colors are coming toward the radar, red colors are going away from the radar, and what we have then, therefore, in the radar is up in Morristown from this vantage point, so that gives us a net cyclonic circulation. Green toward, red away. That gives us a cyclonic circulation. That's the couplet we're looking at. That's the spinning motion in the atmosphere right there. This is what we're looking at. And again, if you don't mind, yeah, thank you very much, Tavian. I don't know if you get a chance to put on the tool for the highway there. Maybe we'll plot a few of these highways that are coming in as well. But generally speaking, it will be tracking, again, in north central Anderson County right now. It's going to be moving close to Clinton, between Clinton and Rocky Top, Norris. So basically coming down the Norris Valley. Storms like to follow the path of least resistance. Air and water, lightning, they're all the same. Follow the path of least resistance. If you hit a ridge or mountain, they're going to go around it, just like water in a creek tries to go in those low spots. So that's what we're looking at right there. Frost Bottom Road, again, potential circulation, Laurel Grove, again, Marlowe Elementary School in the Marlowe community as well. That's where this storm was going just north of Oak Ridge a moment ago. So right now at Frost Bottom, and again, Leinart's will continue to track in your direction, heading toward 25W in Clinton here momentarily. So, and also South Clinton Elementary School area. So these are some markers and indications of what we're looking at right now. And again, there's the tornado warning that will be in place. A potential hail, looks like it's not quite as large as what it was earlier showing across portions of Morgan County. Right now, generally around a ½ inch, that's below severe size hail, which is 1 inch or quarter size in diameter or larger, makes the storm severe as far as hail. Winds 60 miles per hour or greater, and of course, if there's a tornado, it's severe. Now, we are looking at a tornado warning with this particular storm, maybe some hail. There's that notch right there. You can see it right there at Frost Bottom. That's where we have, again, tied in a little bit of that circulation. So, again, as I mentioned, Rocky Top, Clinton, Norris, Andersonville, if you live near Big Ridge State Park and anywhere along the Norris Freeway area and coming into the Norris area in general, this is what we're looking at and crossing over 25W. This storm will continue to accelerate to the east-northeast. Let's hop down into Roane and Loudoun County. When you have multiple storms, and these are really popping, oh, thank you, we'll go right up to Morgan County. We got to continue to keep track of these because we have multiple thunderstorms. We'll get to your area momentarily. Sunbright continuing up toward Huntsville and Robbins, Morgan County, Rugby, Scott County. Again, severe thunderstorm warning, and that's a tornado warning as well earlier. I believe that might have been the one that Kaylee said may have been expired and just hasn't gone off yet on our computer screen. Let's hop on down into Roane and Loudoun counties and check on this storm right here. Again, there's a storm in Kingston and Harriman, strong cell. Here's the one in the North City, already there in the North City, and another storm breaking out in northern Blount County along North Shore, South Knox County, more or less the northern Blount County right now, but along the Blount and Knox County line. That's good right there, Tavian. Thank you. Look how these storms are accelerating. So heads up, Farragut, Concord. Again, if you live along North Shore, Toto Road, this storm's going to continue to track from deep west Knox County. The Bluegrass community will be tracking right through the heart of West and downtown Knoxville and Knox County coming up shortly. And so from West Knox County, I should say, toward downtown Knoxville. So again, eventually toward Beard and Sequoia Hills and right along the river. Again, we're looking at potentially some large hail and some damaging winds. Again, that's what we're talking about, potential. You saw the video that Tavian showed you a moment ago, that likely tornado. So the atmosphere is conducive for rotating winds. So we have to take these seriously until they start to weaken, which is expected a little bit later on this evening, but right now still packing a punch. So Lenore City, you need to be in your safe place. That is basically in the center part of your home, lowest floor like a basement, hallway, bathroom, or closet, an excellent place to be, away from outer walls and windows, and simply just stay there and wait for the storms to pass. When these storms are knocking on your door, so to speak, and approaching, that's when you certainly need to be in your safe place until the storms pass by. All right, Kaylee, I'll send it back over inside the studio to you and Tavian for the very latest. And again, keep it right here, folks. We'll continue to keep you updated. Multiple severe storms making their way into the valley and Knoxville.
Yeah, Todd, thank you so much. Yes, Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell, Meteorologist Tavian Whitehurst, myself, we are watching this system moving through. Right now, we are watching 2 tornado warnings at the moment, but also 3 thunderstorm warnings indicated by the shades of reds and yellows. But we just got information that came down from the National Weather Service just a moment ago, saying reports of hail, ping pong ball size hail. That's 1.5 inches size hail in diameter. So that's quarter to ping pong size hail right along Highway 68. So let's actually look at that, see exactly what we're looking at as far as this ping pong ball size hail goes. This was in Ray County. All right, so let's see if we can find the hail real quick. Let's see, all right. So we're actually going to take the warnings off here real quick, but just so you know, we are still watching multiple thunderstorm and tornado warnings. So let's see, looking, okay. And we still have that thunderstorm warning. We'll get to that here in just a moment, but let's see.
While you're looking at that real quick, confirmed tornado in Crossville. Correct.
Okay.
Getting more video, is that what we're talking about just a few minutes ago? Thank you. Tavian, working on that. All right, so and again, Kaylee, continue. But just to reiterate, that's kind of when we have confirmation of storm reports and the reports of damage and video, that's a confirmation of what we're looking at. So.
All right, so real quick, we do have new video in, but I want to show you this hail. Okay, we're going to go to the video here real quick. Tavian, do you want to take it away?
Absolutely. So this video is a little bit unique. We got this one coming from Larry Brummett that was sent into Rebecca Sweet. Now this video, you can really see the formation of this tornado from some of those earlier stages. If you look further in the back, you've got that one light post, that little bit of cloud cover. Perfect. What a good cameraman. They zoomed right in, and you can see that formation as you get that connection from the top of those storm clouds reaching down into the surface, and now you can see some of that upwardly rotating motion as it makes its way generally across that field. It looks like this is directly in that Walmart parking lot where this tornado was spotted. So we've been able to see this from a couple of different angles. So hopefully everybody that took a video or saw this was safe. If you were in the Walmart at this point, hopefully you didn't try to go anywhere and just waited for that to fall apart. But you can see it getting just a little bit lighter as it finally makes that track. Great, amazing video here coming out of Larry. You can see, even some of that dust and debris starting to pick up as you get a little bit closer to wherever that cart pole is. If you're looking at that, you can see some of that debris starting to fly up as well, getting to a pretty decent height. Now, it does seem like it was getting closer to that Walmart, but it also seems like it is starting to widen, taking a little bit more of that breath. Wow, great cameraman right there. Luckily, doesn't look like any debris is too large from this video right here, but it is quite a ways away. But you can see that finally starting to reach back up into the clouds, still picking up some of that debris along with it. Luckily, this isn't a tornado that lasted for too long, and luckily it seems to have avoided really that highly populated area that was there surrounding that Walmart. So thank you again to Larry Brummett. Hope that you and your family are safe, and hope that everybody else in the area is safe as well. We are still seeing, again, those 2 tornado warnings and 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, and throughout all of these, and really this entire time period up to this point, we've seen winds get up to close to 90 miles per hour, especially near some of these rotation centers. So in areas where these spin ups are possible and that connection, and look, it's going for it another time. Areas where that connection is going to be possible is where we're going to see some of those strongest winds. It's where we're going to see some of the strongest hail as well, which is why we've been showing you a lot of those 3 things. So hail at some points getting upwards of, if not greater than, 1.5 inches in diameter. We've seen those winds getting close to 90 miles per hour, plenty of thunder and lightning and heavy rain to go around. Surprisingly, we haven't heard too much about flooding quite yet, but that's something we're going to continue to keep an ear on. I'm going to send things over to Kaylee Bowers over there at the weather wall. She's going to let you know what we are seeing on the radar right now. Kaylee?
Tavian, thank you so much. Yes, if you are just tuning in, the time right now is 7:41 on your Sunday evening. We're still tracking multiple thunderstorm warnings, which is indicated by those boxes of yellow, but also it looks right now around 2 tornado warnings indicated by those shades of red. Just a moment ago, the National Weather Service confirmed that we have seen ping pong ball size hail I want to zoom in just to look a little bit closer and just show you how strong this hail core is. I mean, look at that right there. 1.5 inches size hail right near the Laurel Grove area, just near Dutch Valley. And one of our biggest concerns with these showers and thunderstorms, besides the very gusty winds, is the hail. This can be very damaging to vehicles, to your homes, to the windows. So yeah, we got confirmation just a few moments ago from the National Weather Service of ping pong ball size hail. So again, this is what we're looking at. We're going to go ahead and track this and show you just a little bit closer as far as this system goes. We're looking mainly to our western county. So zooming in, again, there's that hail core once again. But we're going to go back. We're watching the multiple thunderstorm warnings at the moment. We're going to take a look at the velocity. So you can see, yeah, we are tracking just a little bit of that rotation, but I want to zoom in at the hail all across the area. Let's go ahead and do the box zoom if we can find it right there. All right, so looking just a little bit closer, this is what we're tracking as far as this one tornado warning to our northern counties. And you can see there's that hail. Let's get that information right there for you as far as how large that hail is. This is again what we were just looking at, hail around 1 inch in diameter. Can we take that tornado warning off, guys, real quick, if possible? Thank you. Let's try that again. All right, so there's that hail core right there. There. Almost 1.5 inches in diameter. You can see it's updating right there once again. So we're watching hail in a good portion of the region. So zooming this back out, we're going to take a look at radar. Again, this tornado warning for Anderson, Campbell, and Knox County. This includes the Clinchmore area, Clinton, Norris, and also into Rocky Top. So if you're in the Clinton area right now, it's to the north of you. If you're in Rocky Top, it's right on top of you, but we're really watching the system from Clinchmore. You actually look to be done with the system at the moment, but you are still in that tornado warning that is issued until 8 o'clock this evening. We just had, all right, a brand new update from the National Weather Service. That tornado warning has been allowed to extend for Morgan and also Force. Wow. All right, take a look at the vertical liquid. Very intense right there. Let's go ahead and get that information there right there for you. Oh, we're going to zoom in. Tavy and Todd, thank you for your help right there. Again, Anderson, Campbell, and Knox County, there's that hail. So we're going back and forth between looking at the hail and also looking at that vertically integrated liquid. So again, there's that hail information. We're seeing the hail right there. If we can get this information, okay, we're going to do the track of the hail. Can we do the track of the radar, please? Thank you. All right, this is moving northeast right around 30 miles an hour. So look at that cell right there, that purple cell right near that looks to be the Blowing Springs School. So again, this is tracking northeast. Our computer's acting up just a little bit. Please bear with us. But again, this tornado warning is in effect till about 8 o'clock this evening. So again, if you are heading towards the northeastern portion of our region, maybe. All right, looks like we are having some technical issues right now with this system. Let's go ahead and try to reset here. All right, looking actually near downtown Clinton, there is a new wall cloud just west of that, reported by a spotter just about 30 seconds ago. So that's brand new information. Just came down from the National Weather Service office just a moment ago. All right, and there we go. We do have a severe thunderstorm watch that just has been issued right now. There's a new severe thunderstorm watch. So that's the difference between a watch and a warning. We are under multiple thunderstorm and tornado warnings, but also a severe thunderstorm watch has just been issued. We'll get that updated for you here in just a moment. Again, if you are just tuning in, we're watching two tornado warnings, but also 3 thunderstorm warnings here in East Tennessee. The reds are those tornado warnings. Those yellows you see are also thunderstorm warnings. If you're in southern Knox and western Knox County right now, you're under a thunderstorm warning. And speaking of that, Blount, Knox, Loudoun, and Roane County has that severe thunderstorm warning issued until about 8:30 this evening. And again, this is the thunderstorm warning. That red polygon, that is that tornado warning for Anderson, Campbell, and northern Knox County. So we're going to keep you updated as far as this system goes, but looks like Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell has more information. So Todd, we'll send things over to you.
Okay, thank you, Kaylee. Yes, multiple severe thunderstorm warnings, tracking them with potential for large hail, and also the potential that we are seeing again for some tornadic development. We've seen 2 different new videos coming in from Crossville, one from the Walmart, one from nearby Buc-ee's, and again, both of those confirming tornadic development across portions of Cumberland County. And again, now we're looking at that potential large hail. These storms are continuing to track in again to the Farragut area, deep west Knox County, out of Loudoun County, and continue to track off to the east-northeast. Severe thunderstorm warning, damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour possible in Knox County as these storms are racing off to the east-northeast. And we also could be looking at quarter-size hail or larger. Had a confirmation of ping-pong ball-size hail coming out of Ray County. More strong storms also back to the west in Oliver Springs, or approaching Oliver Springs in Roane County. All right, Tavia, if you'll go back up into the storm for Anderson County, again, Clinton and Rocky Top to Norris certainly need to be in your safe place as these storms are continuing to track on off to the east-northeast. That tornado warning again for Anderson, Campbell, North Knox County, and for Sunday, for tonight, excuse me, till 8 p.m. That's until 8 p.m. So we'll go ahead and let's take a look at that tornado warning for portions of Anderson County, northern Anderson County, into portions of Union County as well. Yeah, that tornado warning to the north. We'll track that storm right there as that's what we're seeing. Again, that is continuing to race on off to the east-northeast. This storm will continue to be moving from Clinton toward Norris, Andersonville, and racing toward Sharps Chapel and Maynardville. So Anderson County, Union County, you're in the path of this potential tornadic thunderstorm with large hail. Damaging winds are fairly likely. Whether there's a tornado on the ground or not, we cannot say for certain right now, but there's a warning in place with damage expected. So anywhere in the Norris area, Norris Lake area, coming out of Anderson County into portions of, again, Union County, Sharps Chapel, again, Maynardville, Luttrell, and continuing Big Ridge State Park, Andersonville, Norris, heading in your direction. Here's this other, again, tornado warning for Huntsville and Robbins as that storm also very strong, moving through Scott County. So again, look how fast this is moving. We may want to slow this animation down a little bit. These storms are moving, though, pretty quickly. I think it may be set to fast. We can change that to medium if you have a second, but that's irrelevant right now. We are looking at, again, these storms. This is over the past 1 hour that they are tracking off to the east-northeast. Thank you, guys. Continue to track off fairly steadily. So there it is right there. You can see a little bit better movement now as we get an idea of these storms. Thank you, Kaylee and Tavian. That's what we're looking at. The severity of that storm, very heavy rainfall, again, a lot of lightning. And on the tail end of that storm coming in from Robbins, Huntsville toward Norma, that's where we could have a little bit of a couplet, circulation that tightens up every now and then, and possible tornado. And a little bit of showing the damaging winds potentially right there. Where you see the brighter blue, those are winds likely in excess of 60 miles per hour. It's 58 right there. So that's what we're looking at potentially in 65. Those damaging winds could be heading from Robbins toward Norma and maybe eventually Highway 63 as well. That'll take you from Campbell County eventually into Claiborne County into the Powell Valley, before then Elk Valley. So heads up in Scott County. The other storm I want to go back down to and talk about is Loudoun County into Knox County. As again, and we could take a wider view if you don't mind, Tavian and Kaylee. We'll do that in just a second. And here's the big picture. If you're in Tellico Plains, you got a new storm popping up here. Rockwood, again, Lenore City, near Oak Ridge to Clinton, coming into deep west Knox County. Want to give everybody a big picture of what's happening here because we have more of these strong to severe storms up in Kentucky. Again, Williamsburg, from Bell County into Harlan County, Kentucky, Barberville, Knox County, Kentucky. You're seeing some stronger storms. The most impactful storms right now are basically from Knox County, Blount, Loudoun County, northward into Anderson, Union counties, and also for Scott into Campbell counties, and eventually into Claiborne. Yes, that's what we're looking at right now. And also, I don't know if that just popped up or if it was there a second ago, but if it may have just popped up. Severe thunderstorm warning for Bell County into Harlan County. Crossville, you've got a little bit of a break right now. Tavian and Kayla, if you don't mind, why not just a little bit more? The main line is back in Middle Tennessee, so this is the severe round, what we're seeing initially right here. These are all the individual, multiple, and cellular severe thunderstorm warnings, some tornado warnings. Then we've got the actual main line back here. We're still on our sweeping radar, but the composite will show more detail here of the main line of showers and thunderstorms with lightning. After a little bit of a break, we'll be moving back onto the plateau. Now, notice though, within this line, do not see any current warnings. Doesn't mean we could not have some more, but certainly the most severe activity is right now as we go into this early to mid-evening. Then we'll see a little bit of a break on the plateau. You're seeing that now, but then the main line coming in for later on this evening. So here's what we're seeing. Again, these strong to severe storms bubbling up still off the plateau, the western and central valley, and especially for the northern half of East Tennessee. Although again, we're starting to see a few of those spotty storms from around Tellico Plains back toward Riceville. Let's zoom into Knox County and Knoxville up toward Clinton. And again, that's what we're seeing right now. Severe thunderstorm warning, Farragut, also down into Louisville and Blount County. These storms are tracking off to the east-northeast. There's the other tornado warning, again, for portions of Anderson County, Clinton, Rocky Top. We can slide a little bit more north. We're looking at more of the storms for portions of Oak Ridge and continuing to work its way from Roane County northward. So again, that's a look at the potential tornadic activity. Let's do a velocity scan, maybe on that one as well, right there. Thank you, Kaylee. And this is what we're looking at. There looks like not as strong a couplet right now, but there is still that potential as these storms can tighten up, pulse up and down, and that's why we have an ongoing tornado warning for Anderson County as this storm activity continues to track off to the east-northeast. Not only the potential for tornadic development and damaging winds, but also some hail is also possible. We've been seeing that potential hail right there. We're looking at near Clinton, 25W, again, from Blowing Springs, Westwood Estates, right around Clinton and North Clinton. But again, when we zoom into our mapping, there is the margin of error on typical mapping systems of a half mile or so. So we're going to get real detailed, but knowing that, again, Clinton, maybe just north of there, but right around Clinton to Blowing Springs as this large hail continues to track on off to the east. Tavian? Yes.
Coming out of Clinton of the storm starting to roll into the area. So you're taking a look at some of that right now. That is coming from out of the car. That looks dark. You can see those thick shelf clouds starting to move their way further into the area. You can watch that kind of layer that you can see as well as you get a little bit further back into the screen. Luckily, this person here driving is not in danger quite yet. Shout out to Ashley Dean for the video. Hopefully she finds herself into safely quickly. But that is just a way for you to see with your own eyes how those storms are going to be approaching, the difference between those darker storm clouds working their way into the region versus the kind of regular gray skies that we're seeing right now. It's getting to about 8 o'clock, so it is going to start to get dark within this next hour or so. But in the meantime, this is a look at the radar that we are seeing. Again, we've got the 2 tornado warnings, looks like 2 severe thunderstorm warnings as well that are moving in throughout the area. The one just north of Knox County getting into a little bit of Blount as well. You're seeing plenty of lightning along with those. We still have 7 more minutes for the tornado warning, including Morgan and Scott counties. That's going to be including the cities of Huntsville and Robbins. So we're going to keep watching those over these next couple of hours. Plenty of lightning. A lot of these storms seeing hail getting upwards of 1.5 inches. They're continuing to make their way over into the northeast. So we're seeing a lot of the same people finally get in the way of these storms. So a bit of Robbins. We're now zooming into the severe thunderstorm warning right now, making its way into Farragut. We are seeing pea-sized hail around 0.8 miles on Watt Road. So Loudon, Knox County line, you guys are some of the ones seeing some of that larger hail as well. And that again is going to come along with some of those stronger winds. You're taking a look at the hail core just a little bit in between Farragut and Lenore City, pretty close to the split. You see there at Morton Road, some of that hail getting around 1/2 inch, some smaller pieces coming in around 0.4 inches. That's around that pea size that we could see coming down. So maybe you could hear a couple of that dinging on your car as some of that rain is continuing to pass through. Again, that is right there along the 40-75 split. But you're taking a look at the greater radar. We have those strong storms getting into the Rockwood area, getting past Morgan County, still heading its way into parts of Anderson, getting towards Oak Ridge, a little bit of Union County. We're now seeing those storms make their way into Maynardville. So we're still looking at these 2 main tornado warnings that are going to be going until 8 p.m. Looks like Todd Howell is standing by over there on the Weather Center right now just to give you a closer look at some of those storms that we have going into the area right now.
All right, Tavian, yeah, thank you so much. Kaylee Bowers in the Channel 10 Weather Center as well. Just getting a report of hail off Campbell Station. We're working on getting the size of that hail coming in momentarily. Again, we are continuing to see these strong to severe thunderstorms making their way through Knox County, accelerating to the east-northeast. So in Knox County, again, we do have that severe thunderstorm warning till 8:30, and tornado warning for about another less than 5 minutes now for Anderson, Campbell, and Knox County. We'll see if that's for this particular storm, far northern Knox County. We'll look at that in a moment. But again, Farragut also into Knoxville. Very heavy rainfall right along Interstate 40, Pellissippi. Again, damage and winds are possible in the Farragut area, and very heavy rainfall could lead to some isolated flooding. But hail has also just been reported Campbell Station Road. Again, we'll try to get the size of that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and do a query, if you can, either Kaylee or Tavian, on the potential hail size for the Knox County storm, and then we'll kind of cover these 4 storms all in this area. We'll kind of cover all those right now. But again, the potential hail in Farragut looks like it's generally less than quarter size, maybe dime size hail. At least at one point it's been pulsing up. But again, had a report of that hail at Campbell Station Road. And again, that's the storm right now for Knox County. Again, the other brand new severe thunderstorm warning just being issued for this one right here is, we have our system defaults to the tornado warning. There it is. Again, that's severe thunderstorm warning that has been extended from Union County, Knox County, and continuing into portions of Granger County. That's going to be in effect until 9 p.m. So that is for the storm, that the tornado warning that's coming out of Anderson, portions of Union, and Knox County. It's going to be continuing as a severe thunderstorm warning. Still a damage and wind threat, certainly. The slightly good news, instead of continuing as a tornado warning, it will be continuous severe thunderstorm warning, maybe slightly less rotation, but you can still have similar damage and winds. So whether it's a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, take both seriously, certainly. And again, a little bit of a tail end of a coupling on that. It may be slightly weakening, but these storms can pulse up and pulse right back down. And so that's what we were seeing around Andersonville, Norris earlier, and that storm's going to continue to track due east. So northern half of Knox County, Corrington, Gibbs, Union County, Maynardville, Luttrell, and continuing along Highway 33 here shortly, and tracking eventually into Granger County. That's a look at this particular storm. There's the hail. It just shifted. Again, right now it looks to be, again, less than quarter size, but it's been going up and down, pulsing up and down. Right now, just over half-inch non-severe hail being indicated, but still, we've had some severe hail from earlier. All right, back to radar. There's a look at the tail end of this storm. Again, still that tornado warning for just a couple more minutes, and it is a severe storm otherwise that's going to continue to track on to the east-northeast, and will bring some very heavy rainfall and potentially damaged winds from Norris up toward Sharps Chapel, Maynardville, and Corrington. The other strong to severe storms in Scott County working its way into from Scott and Campbell counties around Norma, Huntsville. Again, very heavy rainfall. We'll look at this particular storm and maybe check out the velocity and the hail potential as well. You can see that tornado warning until 8:15 for Morgan and Scott, including Huntsville and also Robbins. And right now, generally speaking, across the south central, just to the southwest of Norma, thank you, right there, got some potential severe winds in this bright blue area. That's basically that one right there, 59 miles per hour. 60 or greater, technically it's 58, I rounded up to 60. 60 or greater considered severe. So heads up Norma or near there in Scott County, you got the potential for damage and winds as this severe storm tracks on off to the east. That is again, that tornado warning will likely have a severe thunderstorm warning at least extended from that as that storm's tracking off to the east. Thank you very much, Kaylee. And from Pioneer, Buckeye, Royal Blue School, and again, continuing toward Jacksboro. So coming out of Scott County into Campbell County, Elk Valley, Pioneer, earlier north of La Follette and Fincastle and up toward Habersham. Y'all saw some decent severe weather and hail signs earlier, so we've got more of these storms that are crossing over Interstate 75 from Elk Valley, Pioneer, Caryville Mountain, seeing some very heavy rainfall and perhaps some severe winds coming right in. So here's a look at the communities impacted. Campbell County High School, less than 8 minutes from now. La Follette, less than 10 minutes. It's got a 9-minute scan on it. Could be there quicker. Fincastle, less than 17 minutes from right now. So I know you've had to dodge some of the storms from earlier. This is another wave, another round that's moving back in. Interstate 75 from Caryville to Elk Valley, Campbell County out of Scott County, and Scott County out into Campbell County, tracking to the east through Campbell County. So take cover basically from north of Caryville, Jacksboro, La Follette area, Fincastle, and all along McLeod Mountain as this storm is continuing to perhaps give some severe winds. Matter of fact, yeah, zoom in right there, showing a little bit more of a couplet. If you don't mind, Kaylee or Tavian, let's do like maybe a 30-minute or maybe 45-minute loop. There's the latest scan. Thank you right there. Let's get an idea. This is showing some broad rotation. So we may, in fact, be, yeah. And widen out just a little bit right there. We'll all look at that together. Okay, yeah. So here's what we're seeing. See that just popping up? Thank you very much. I don't know if you can slow it down. Todd's asking for a lot here, but there you go. Slow that down just a little bit, and we'll kind of see that development of this little couplet. That's continued across out of Scott County. Thank you, guys. Into Campbell County. You can see it developing right there. It's Stinking Creek Road, again, Elk Valley, and unfortunately, that could be a little bit of a couplet. Let's go ahead and track this storm for Habersham and near La Follette, Fincastle. Fincastle, La Follette, again, you're right down here, Highway 63, head towards Speedwell. But this storm, again, at least what we're seeing, I would say be prepared between La Follette and Habersham, Fincastle. Be prepared to move into your safe place right now. That storm has a couplet, it's got some rotation, could have a possible tornado and at least some damaging winds. Powell Valley, 28 minutes from right now, and also around Clearfield, less than 10 minutes. Fincastle now, less than 6 minutes. Again, kind of sampling this particular storm. That's what we're looking at into portions of Campbell County. And again, I'm just checking out the very latest. Bear with me one moment. And again, we are looking at that. That storm does have the potential for rotation and with a couplet on it right there. Again, generally just north of La Follette. Looks like that's tightening up just a little bit more. Tavian, I'll send it back over to you. We're going to keep a close eye on this storm again in Campbell County.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to let you know that it's actually shortening just a little bit. It's been moved into just Scott County, and that's going to be, although it is likely going to be moving its way into Campbell County, they've seen to shrink that down a little bit, but it is going to be extended until 8:15. We're watching this one little edge piece here just to the, really to the east of Norma. You're looking a little bit further down to the south there. We got some of those light blues.
Another one right there.
Yep.
Go ahead, Tavian. That's number one, Norma, and then number two is north of La Follette. Those are two couplets. Go ahead, Tavian.
I mean, you're looking at it right now. You've got Norma, you've got Dean right there along Norma Road. You're going to want to make sure you're heading into your safe space, generally moving towards the northeast. So those of you given towards Caryville, moving towards Jacksboro, La Follette, those are the people that you got to want to make sure that you are heading inside. We got Kaylee circling it for you right now. Those two couplets we're watching, as you see, we get a little bit further into Elk Valley right there along, I believe that's I-75, circles covering it just a little bit right there in Stinking Creek Road, right by the elementary school. That's heading right into Habersham. So if you were in that area, yet again, you're going to want to make sure that you are heading into your safe space or finding somewhere to actually head into. You can really watch that continue to flow as it makes its way over, coming out of the northwest, sitting right into this region. So over here into the southeast of Elk Valley, directly into the south of Norma, getting in towards Dean as well. You watch that file right in, and if you watch that, it kind of makes that northeasterly track, continuing right along I-75, sort of right along the edge of the tornado warning border. And this seems to be a new one that has just come up with that tornado warning. So now we've got the two severe thunderstorm warnings. We've got this newer, much wider tornado warning that is now including all of those regions. So we do have the smaller one here that just got shrunken down, but now from Norma all the way over into the east, including Caryville, Jacksboro, La Follette, getting into Fincastle, right here along 25 west as you get down the highway along 75. Hopefully you're not on the road at this time, because this is going to be one of the more dangerous time periods for it. That's going to be going until 8:15. So the two couplets we're watching right now, because we want to look at velocity. We've got this guy right here. We see these deeper red colors and this very bright blue. This has been the biggest indicator of some of those gusty winds that we've been seeing. Generally with these lighter blues, winds getting upwards into the 70s, maybe even 80 miles per hour. There was a time period earlier where we were seeing those winds upwards to 85. Thought I might have seen a little bit of a dust core here. We're looking at the correlation coefficient. We want to look for something that is different. So the red is the normal for a lot of that storm activity. But as you get right here on the edge, you see some of those greens and blues starting to pop up as we get to the south of Norma. That's around the same area that we were seeing some of that increased velocity couplet. So those winds are picking up that debris. They're bringing them higher up into the storm, and our satellites are noticing that. They are noticing the difference of what that debris looks like and how that scans versus how the rest of the rain or how the rest of the hail scans. So that's how we're getting all these different speed signatures. We were getting the different correlation signature. You see velocity upwards of 50 miles per hour. There it is, 68 miles per hour right there. Seems to have some of that really tighter gradient here as we kind of get into this area, kind of filtering around. A lot of 25 miles per hour here as we get into the green. This is that first couplet that we're looking at in the Norma area. And of course, that is not the only one that we are seeing that is within that tornado warning. It's really been on this little piece edge that got cut off. There was a tornado warning that was at first including both Scott and Campbell counties, but they shrunk it just to Scott. And it was because of this little edge right here. We're wondering if this is going to make some kind of hook. You can see it's starting to split off a little bit. That is another real telltale sign that we like to look at. And you see a little bit of a difference here. You see a little bit of a divot as we get into the edge of the storm. Again, a lot of those stronger winds seeming to hang a little bit further into the south. You can tell some of that stronger rain. We got a downpour sitting right over Norma, just to the north of Dean as well. And you look a little bit further into Campbell County, we get a little bit into Turkey. That's when you're seeing more of those heavier downpours coming along with it. Surprisingly, we haven't heard much about floodwaters yet, but that's mostly because there are just some bigger things to worry about right now with the multiple tornado warnings and also severe thunderstorm warnings. We're looking at these storms right now getting into the south of Carms. We're now just in the metro area right here along I-40. You see right there by Ashley Oaks, we got some of that real heavier rain getting here by Renbor. Belmont West, we're seeing some of those heavier rains. This is also where we have that severe thunderstorm warning, if I'm remembering correctly. Very gusty winds coming along with this, but these are all in one direction. So we're not seeing rotation here because we've just got straight green. So we are just seeing fast winds, some of those still getting upwards of 70 miles per hour that we're going to continue to see. So if you're hanging around these roads, this is something you're going to want to keep an eye out for. Cedar Bluff Primary, you see those winds up to 20 miles per hour just to the east of Farragut. So you guys are starting to kind of be out of the way of that general storm, but you're still going to be seeing those gusty winds pretty consistently as we get over the coming minutes. The storm as a whole continuing to move its way off into the northeast, further down into Knox County. So we can zoom that out just a little bit more. You can see that going into the West Hills area. There we go. Now we are moving directly into the city of Knoxville. That is going to be coming, traveling up I-40 straight up. So hopefully you're not on the roads during this time period because you're going to be seeing those tough conditions. It's heading right into the Bearden area, going to be diving right into Knoxville, right here around the loop, heading around 640 South Knoxville. You guys are getting some of those heavier rains as well. Moving into Bearden, moving into Fort Saunders, you guys are going to be getting some of those heavier rains, some of those gustier winds as they make their way further into the city. Then it's going to continue off into the west, continue off into the east, really the northeast, heading towards areas like Corryton, moving its way forward. And even just to the north, we've got now 2 of these severe thunderstorm warnings that we're seeing. But I'm going to toss things over to Kaylee for a little bit. It looks like we do have some newer updates that she's ready to share with you guys. Kaylee, what are you seeing?
Tavian, thanks so much. Yeah, we're going to still stick on Max 2 right here. If you are just joining us, it's 8:08 on your Sunday evening. This is what we're seeing right now. We're getting multiple reports right now from the National Weather Service. If we can go to Max 1, please, Kelsey, that would be great. So right now we are watching 2 tornado warnings at the moment right now for Campbell County and for Scott County as well. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that does include.
That's a new tornado warning. Go ahead, Kaylee. Yes,
it's a new tornado warning right here. Yes, that's right, for Campbell and for Scott County. But I'm also watching this thunderstorm warning for Blount and Knox County. Tavian just talked about that right here. And we're actually getting some multiple reports right here from the National Weather Service. I'm going to zoom out here and just tell you, let's see, let's find those storm reports actually on the map, see what all we have, what we get set up here. All right, storm reports, let's see what we have. So right now, just looks like it's in the Jamestown area at the moment. Looks like we have 2 different storm reports, and of course, as we go on throughout the evening, we'll see exactly more. So near the Aldar area, we talked about that earlier, trees uprooted or snapped, and also a roof was damaged near Aldard. So that's just southwest or southeast of Jamestown. Another one, also in Aldard, there's a report of a possible tornado and multiple trees down. So those are the only storm reports we have at the moment. Of course, we'll get more from our weather system, but also from the National Weather Service. All right, actually, we're going to talk about this tornado warning still. This is for Campbell and Claiborne County. This was just issued just a moment ago. So again, we have 3 tornado warnings right along the Tennessee and Kentucky border. And also there is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning that's been issued for parts of southwest Virginia. But we're going to focus on this tornado warning right now near Campbell and Claiborne County. So I know there's a lot going on. You see those 3 red polygons. Remember that. I'm going to go ahead and take off the warnings so that way you can see the exact system that we're looking at. So this spans all the way down just east of Norma. Norma, you're fine. We're not seeing anything right now, but Jacksboro, La Follette, Fincastle, Elk Valley, things are wrapping up for you. Habersham, you're going to see some very heavy rain, some very strong winds within the next few minutes. The first thing I want to take a look at is the velocity. Let's take a look. We're still watching these 2 couplets right there. So what we're looking at, let's see. So this one right here, just southwest to west of Habersham. So you can see the greens and also the reds. But we're also watching this system down here just a little bit, just north of the Caryville area. So there's 2 different couplets that we're watching. And the reason we're seeing these different colors is because the winds are rotating. One's going towards the radar, the other is going away from the radar. So let's actually see if we can get some of those wind gust speeds. Let's see. Looks like around 20 to 30 miles an hour. I'm sure that those are definitely greater than what the maps are reading. But along with those gusty winds, we're also tracking the hail. Let's turn the warnings off once again. Doesn't look like we're seeing much as far as the way as hail goes at the moment. But let's go ahead and take a look at, okay, so we're still watching these 3 tornado warnings at the moment. We're taking these warnings off, and let's take a look at the track. Right now it is moving, all these storms have been moving around 30 miles an hour east. So this is what we're seeing right now. So it's moving east around 30 miles an hour, and it's going to be impacting Fincastle around 3 minutes, Clarefield Elementary School around 6 minutes, Victory around 7 minutes, Flat Hollow 15 minutes, Powell Valley around 24 minutes. So that is the brand new tornado warning that we're looking at right now. We're going to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell. Todd, go ahead and take it away.
All right, Kaylee Bowers, thank you so much for getting right to those multiple reports. I want to give 2 new reports I have in. Quarter-size hail confirmed, Campbell Station Road earlier. 2 separate reports. Again, Farragut, Campbell Station Road, quarter-size hail. One of the images I'm looking at on my phone right here, a friend of mine sent to me, Alex, thank you. Looked like it was nightfall when it came in about 8 p.m. in Farragut. So intense rainfall, some hail, and some damaging winds. The lightning is increasing, coming back into Oak Ridge and Anderson County, Oliver Springs, Roane County, Oak Ridge, Anderson County. From Oak Ridge to Clinton, not only you're getting more increasing lightning activity, you could see some heavy rain and flooding as these storms almost training a little bit. So we're going to add the heavy rainfall in part of the equation. Heads up Knoxville, we got some strong winds and heavy rain moving into Bearden, Sequoia Hills, and downtown Knoxville right now. We have a severe thunderstorm warning that will continue. Again, our radar mapping system is going to pop up whatever warning it sees on the screen, so bear with us. This is the one, thank you, Kaylee. Blount and Knox County until 8:30, so that's just a little bit more than 15 minutes from right now. It includes Farragut and Knoxville, and there's the storm, again, accelerating in from Farragut into Knoxville. Here's the new severe thunderstorm warning. I believe that just popped up, right? Until 9 p.m. for Anderson, Knox, yeah, this is the brand new one. Anderson, Knox, Morgan, and Roane counties, Harriman, Kingston, Midtown, and Oak Ridge. And as we were just talking about, you could see the lightning, the energy increasing, damaging winds, heavy rainfall, and maybe some hail as well. And we'll take a closer examination of what we're seeing as far as that. Again, there is the potential for development of some quarter-size hail out of any one of these particular storms. And again, also maybe some damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. On the tail end of that, seeing some of that around Kingston. And again, Highway 58, Highway 70, continuing from Roane County, along Highway 58, working its way up toward and just near Oliver Springs, Coalfield, Petros, and Joyner, also over toward Oak Ridge, back up into the Marlow community. You've been hit hard with some earlier storms. Kids also see impactful storms making their way right up 25W from Oak Ridge and continuing to make its way up toward Powell, but also up toward Clinton in Anderson County, also Solway. Again, downtown Knoxville, including now Pleasant Ridge, Norwood, seeing some strong to severe storms, and also a lot of lightning into downtown Knoxville. Don't know if we have our Market Square camera up seeing that, but that's what we're looking at right now. Let's take a look at the interstate camera. We can show that right now. Interstate 40 at Level Road. Yeah, there's the heavy rainfall. That's that storm, severe storm that was making its way again from West Knox County, from Farragut, Campbell Station Road, and working its way now into Bearden and West Hills, Paper Mill, and again right into downtown Knoxville and UT campus. That's a live look at TDOT SmartWay camera. Again, that's Interstate 40 at Level Road. See that car just went through there too fast? You don't want to do that. Again, when you see all that spray, you can hydroplane very easily, unfortunately, especially when the water's downsloping from down the lanes toward that guardrail. Yeah, everybody needs to slow down big time right there. Okay, so thank you very much, Kelsey, for giving us that shot of what we're seeing right there. You're looking live at our downtown Knoxville camera right now, or actually that's Market Square, thank you. And again, we're seeing the heavy rainfall that's continued to move in, potentially some damaging winds that are making their way into Knoxville as we speak. Elsewhere, we do have, again, tornado warnings that are continuing for northern portions of East Tennessee. There you see between the buildings, some of the storm clouds and some heavy rain is making its way into downtown Knoxville right now at the moment. That's what we're currently seeing on Market Square. Thank you for that, Pan Kaylee. We'll go back to radar and again take a look at those severe storms that are making their way into Knoxville with the heavy rain. As I mentioned, damage winds possible northward. La Follette, let's take a look at these tornado warnings. Again, two separate tornado warnings. These are both relatively new until 9 p.m. for Campbell and Claiborne counties, Clairfield, Habersham, Powell Valley. Basically coming at Highway 63, coming out of Campbell County into Claiborne County, so and continuing from around Fincastle, La Follette, right toward, again, in Habersham right now, and also there's Fincastle to Speedwell. Habersham, get in your safe place. We're seeing some broad rotation. Damaging winds are possible here as this storm continues to track due east, and the other couplet we were watching, it looks like it's a little bit weaker, but nonetheless, maybe still potentially the core of that is still intact. Some damage winds, Jacksboro, La Follette. I mentioned Fincastle and heading toward Speedwell in the Powell Valley. So coming out of Campbell County eastward into Claiborne County, Habersham, Fincastle, La Follette, Jacksboro. If you're watching us in these cities or anywhere in between, you need to be in your safe place because some damage and winds are possible, and watch out for some potential flooding rains. There goes the latest scan. Again, what we're seeing is inbound and outbound colors. Green colors are going toward the radar, which in this case is Morristown or Alpha in West Hamblen County to the east. The red colors are going away from the radar. So we have inbound toward the radar and outbound away from the radar. And if you put these two together very tight, we call this a couplet. If I make my fist, winds are rotating around that couplet, and you have a lot of shear, and you have what we call gate-to-gate shear, and that's what radar is seeing. And if it's strong enough gate-to-gate shear and that cyclonic rotation, the radar pops off and says, we got a tornado warning. A lot of times they're radar indicated. Now, if we see one that's been cited by law enforcement or storm spotters, or we have a visual confirmation, then we say tornado obviously has been seen on the ground. Right now, that one's indicated by radar, but it's a strong enough couplet. That's why there's a tornado warning. That's why we want you to be in your lowest floor, your safe place, sturdy home or building in Habersham as this storm tracks east at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. The hail potential, looking at vertical integrated liquid, it's just a fancy name for how much ice could see in the atmosphere. And so don't see as much of the hail potential right now, but earlier we were, but we still have the ongoing tornado warnings. Now we're about 30 minutes away from sunset. So hopefully once we get just past sunset, we're going to see the intensity of some of these storms lessen a little bit, but we're not there yet. There's a look at, again, Stinking Creek area, a little bit of that small hail. The other storm we were talking about, moving its way down into the valley, and again, the other tornado warning continues to come in from Campbell and Scott County, and that's for Caryville, Fincastle, Jacksboro, La Follette. Again, an additional tornado warning. These are different cells we're looking at. So Caryville, Jacksboro, that's the storm we were talking about a moment ago with a little bit of weaker rotation, but it could pulse up at any time. And we want you to be prepared and be in your safe place around Jacksboro, La Follette, and Fincastle. And Cove Lake area, probably good to go ahead and get in the bathhouse and out of the campers until that storm passes by, although it's just generally north of Cove Lake. But you can look up toward the ridge and you can see that dark cloud and certainly maybe some rotating clouds. And you can see that broad rotation when we're talking about these storms making their way through. We hear the heavy rain that has arrived here at Channel 10 on a rooftop. and very heavy rainfall is making its way into Knox County. A severe thunderstorm warning continues again for Knox County as well. There's the look at that, again, velocity scan, possibility of a tornado in Campbell County, north of or near Jacksboro, just north of there, and heading toward La Follette. So again, right along, again, Highway 25W, making its way from Campbell County due east. So be prepared to move into your safe place. All right, let's go ahead and wind back out on radar. Kaylee, thank you so much. And again, we are continuing to see these storms making the way generally east-northeast about 35 to 45 miles per hour. A moment ago, we talked about the initial round of storms. Look how they're blossoming now in the Southern Valley. If we go ahead and do, thank you, Kaylee. I was going to say do a radar loop. That's perfect. Hold it right there. See how these are just really blossoming. All these are potentially severe because they're individual cells. They have a lot of focused wind energy in each one of these. Now, a little bit of a break on the plateau. The main line that's coming out of Middle Tennessee is starting to catch back up with the initial individual cells that have been strong to severe. So that's what we're seeing, kind of a 1-2 punch. Just a brief break on the plateau for you right now from Crossville near Jamestown, but heads up Jamestown, you've got a new line of storms. Now, again, heavy rain, strong storms, some of these could be severe, but notice the difference. The individual cells are cellular in nature with rotation, and a lot of these have been severe with some hail, some rotation, damage and winds, and even some isolated tornadoes possible. This is more linear in nature. So you have winds that are focused, when we say linear, just more of a straight line, right? Instead of individual cells, it's focused in a linear fashion, and you could have some high winds, but that's more like you take your hand through water and just push it along. That's like taking your hand through the air and it's just pushing along. So some focused high winds, more of your typical line of thunderstorms coming along the plateau. Now, these could pulse up and be severe, hopefully not, but we're still dealing with the atmosphere that's unstable, that's making its way off the plateau into parts of the valley, and including down towards Sweetwater and Athens. Again, this is over, I think, just the last hour. And you can see how these thunderstorms are really blossoming down Interstate 75 in the valley. Oak Ridge, again, let's go ahead and zoom back into Oak Ridge and Knoxville and Maynardville. Where you see the clusters of lightning, that's where you have the most intense energy going on in the atmosphere right now. So heavy rain, strong to severe storms, Oak Ridge area coming out of Coalfield, Oliver Springs, as we mentioned a moment ago, Norwood, and continue to make their way Oliver Springs, Oak Ridge, up toward Clinton, Powell, again, Edgemore, Solway, right along the Anderson and Knox County line, and even back just now to the east of Kingston, Midtown area, and heavy rainfall. We're hearing that on a rooftop inside the 640 loop and here in downtown Knoxville. Look at that. As one of my good friends, Bill, you say, we got red rain, Todd. Yeah, even a little bit of purple. Just simply he's talking about heavy rain. So yeah, Doppler radar look as the colors, the intensities as you go from light green to the reds, the purples, and even on the higher in the scale, it gets very heavy. So we've got very heavy rainfall, maybe some stronger winds moving through the Knox area, and we'll keep you updated on any potential power outages. Kelsey's in the back, and Kaylee and Tavy, and if I get a chance to check KUB on that, hopefully not too much, but we could have some of those now that the storms are making their way into even more populated areas. We'll keep you updated on that. This is velocity. Don't see severe winds, at least right at the moment, that we're currently looking at. But again, we still could be talking about some damage and wind gusts, some heavy rain, but especially heavy rain with lightning for at the moment. All right, I'll be back in a moment. Let me send it right up now over to you, Kaylee.
Todd, thanks so much. We are still watching the traffic cameras. Look at this. This is 40 in Hall of Fame. People still making their way out the door for this evening. We've had multiple reports of crews working and just helping folks out right there. So again, this is 40 in Hall of Fame, and also this is the 40-75 and 640 split right there. You can see people are taking it slow out on the roads for this evening, as they definitely should. We're going to continue to see more rain chances as we go on throughout the rest of the day. Those semis doing the right thing, going a little bit more on the slower side. Very important when you're driving in rain, please have your headlights on and give yourself a good distance between you and other vehicles, just in case you happen to hydroplane or someone else happens to hydroplane. Some folks driving a little too fast right there. But yeah, also want to take it a little closer to home, show you what's going outside our neighborhood. So this is our weather porch. You can see the thermometer. We're seeing temperatures right now in the mid 70s. But also look at all of that rain coming down. So we're also experiencing that here in North Knoxville at the moment. So a lot of rain all across the region. Let's go ahead and show you outside what's going on all across the area right now. This is the amount of rainfall we're seeing here in the Knoxville area. Just in the past, Tavian, what is this, about several hours, past 24 hours? Yeah, so about 3/4 of an inch of rain just in the past several hours, and we're going to continue to see more rain as we go on throughout this evening and also throughout overnight. So look at this. Northwestern portions of our region, Jamestown west, right along southeast Kentucky, seeing around, looks like around 2 to 3 inches of rain. If we can highlight that, see exactly the amount of rainfall that we are seeing there, maybe around 2 to 3 inches of rain. Let's go ahead and highlight that and see, just to be on the safe side as far as rainfall totals go, near the Jamestown area, if we can, Tavian. Wow, almost 4.5 inches of rain, 1 inch of rain near the Wartburg area, 2.5 inches of rain. So yeah, it's a lot of rain that we're seeing outside right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at the radar loop as far as the watches and warnings go. Again, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch until 11 o'clock this evening for most of East Tennessee. But right now, we're watching this one tornado warning right now in Southwest Virginia, also a thunderstorm warning in Southwest Virginia, and part of Southeast Kentucky. Again, this is what we're monitoring. This is again in Lee County, but let's go ahead and look a little bit closer to the northern portions of Tennessee and also into parts of Kentucky. Right there. Thank you. Let's zoom in right there. There's that tornado warning. This is in effect until 9 o'clock Eastern time. If we can go ahead and get that warning right back up there real quick. Yeah, Todd.
Keep going. I'm just going to chime in real quick.
Let's go ahead.
Tornado sirens are apparently going off in Caryville and La Follette in Campbell County, as with this tornado warning that's moving through Campbell County. Kaylee?
All right, Todd, thanks so much for that information. So yeah, what Todd just mentioned, we are hearing tornado warnings right in the Campbell County area. If you're near Clearfield, Habersham, and also Powell Valley, you want to get to your safe space right now. We're seeing hail. This is actually small compared to what we have been seeing the past few hours, 3/4 inches in diameter. If we can get the radar loop going and just track this, Tavian, as far as the timing goes in some of the cities, that would be great. Give us 1 second here. And also, while Tavian's doing that, look at all of that lightning. We've been monitoring our cameras all across East Tennessee, and just a moment ago, I saw a lot of lightning in Market Square. So very important, please go inside, whether you're under a tornado warning, whether you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. So right now, Flat Hollow, you have 1 minute. Speedwell, you have about 3 minutes. Powell Valley, 8 minutes to get to your safe space. Over towards Town Creek, 12 minutes. Let's see, right around the Tipperell area, sorry, it's kind of hard to see so far away. Tipperell, about 17 minutes, 19 minutes if you're in the Harrogate area. Clouds, you have 21 minutes until this storm moves into your neighborhood. Big Bear in 25 minutes, and Tazewell right around 28 minutes with this one tornado warning. And we're tracking multiple thunderstorm and also multiple tornado warnings. So let's zoom out the bigger picture, show you exactly what we're seeing as far as the warnings and also that thunderstorm watch goes. I'm gonna put my phone down here real quick. Sometimes it's easier just to talk with your hands. All right, so we are monitoring 1, 2, 3 tornado warnings, which is highlighted by that shade of red. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 thunderstorm warnings. Again, we're not going anywhere. We are monitoring the system throughout the evening. We're not going anywhere until these tornado warnings have been allowed to expire. So again, this first one, that tornado warning in Campbell County, maybe. There we go. Campbell and Claiborne County, this is in effect until 9 o'clock this evening. So we still have about another 30 minutes before that's allowed to expire. Clearfield, Habersham, and Powell Valley. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hail. Again, this storm is producing around 3/4 of an inch in diameter of hail. What are we seeing? This is good news. All right, now we're looking at the vertically integrated liquid. And again, this is just another fancy tool to monitor the hail. So we're definitely seeing a decent amount right near the Clearfield area, going down towards Habersham, Fincastle, and also over towards the La Follette area. Let's go and take a look at the velocity as well. As far as the system goes, did it just lightning, guys, or did my eyes just blink? Did you guys just see lightning?
It may have been the light flickering. Yeah.
Also, our equipment may be getting impacted from the storms as well. So we're watching a couple different couplets. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of rotation near the Clearfield area, also down towards Fincastle. So what we're seeing right there, the green's going one way from radar, the red is going another way from the radar as well. So if you're in this area, get to your safe space right now. So let's go and take a look at the radar loop as well, once again with the tornado warning, and then we'll take another look at another tornado warning and also the thunderstorm warning. So again, Campbell and Claiborne County till 9 o'clock this evening. Tavy, let's go and take a look at this tornado warning down here near La Follette and Jacksboro. Thank you. So this one actually could expire in the next 15 minutes. I apologize, I'm looking at my watch. We don't have a clock right here on the camera, but 8:45 for Campbell County. This includes Fincastle, Jacksboro, and La Follette. We could see hail 1 inch in diameter. And what are we seeing right now as far as the hail goes, Tavian? Let's go ahead and take a look at that real quick. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but again, if you are anywhere in these highlighted shades of red, you are under a tornado warning until 8:45 or 9 o'clock this evening. The biggest concerns with these showers and thunderstorms, that potential for a tornado, also that chance for some large hail, 1 inch in diameter is possible. We've had multiple reports of ping pong ball size hail, quarter size hail, dime size hail, and also multiple reports of confirmed touchdowns with the tornado. So yeah, there's a lot going on with this right now. I mean, look at that near Fincastle. Yeah, that's a lot right now. So yeah, we're dealing with a decent amount of hail, and also we're dealing with some gusty winds. So let's go and take a look.
Yeah, Market Square. Look at this storm that's passing by. It's got some intense lightning. We'll pull that up for you in just a minute. I don't know if you take it full or if we have to pull it up on ours. Yeah, it's Kaylee. We're looking at this strong to severe storm with heavy rainfall that's continuing to pass on by there.
Wow.
And again, it looked to the right-hand side. Boy, there was some pretty impressive lightning just popping right there as this strong to severe storm with some very heavy rainfall was passing right over downtown Knoxville and continuing to track on due east. That's a current look right now at Market Square with these strong to severe storms. Again, a lot of lightning passing to the east of Knoxville, heading towards Strawberry Plains, back to the west toward Oak Ridge and Carnes. We're also seeing a lot of lightning. See it pop?
Yeah, it's popping. Let's zoom in.
So there's a look at the radar. Tavian, let me let you take it away for a little bit. I'll get back to the wall. I did want to mention real quick, quarter-size hail being reported at Anderson County High School and in Farragut.
There we go.
Looked larger than quarter size in Farragut, so we have had confirmation, as Kaylee was talking about, some of these large hail reports moving in. Take it away, Tavian.
Absolutely. I mean, kind of like you've been hearing from Todd, we are seeing a lot of different hail reports come in, various sizes coming in with all of these different storms of really varying strengths as well. We were talking about those storms as they now made their way through the city of Knoxville. They are moving out of the main downtown region if you want to take a closer look at the radar right now. So those of you generally around the loop, we are seeing a little bit of openness. But as you get into the eastern side of Knoxville, getting a little bit further out into the burbs, that's when we see some more of some of that rainfall starting to pop up. So heavier rainfall getting over Chilloughby High School, Ramsey House Plantation, Riverdale School, getting towards Mascot, Skagston, Strawberry Plains. We can kind of watch the direction of these storms as they continue to make their way over. Making that northeasterly track, going to be making their way into Jefferson County pretty soon if we continue to watch that. You see some of those lighter showers right there on the edge. So if we continue to watch that, make a little track here. That's not what we want. And we kind of take a look at the track here as we get over these next couple of minutes. That's going to be heading through Strawberry Plains in the next couple of minutes. Kodak as well, Hodges, Wookerton, all in under 10 minutes. Then you get Dumplin coming off in about 12 minutes. New Market at 17, Flat Gap in a little over 20 minutes. Jefferson City in 25 minutes, as well as the Memorial Hospital and Mount Horeb. So all of you guys are going to be seeing these storms, and we'll be looking at the warning. We don't have anything as of right now in terms of severe thunderstorm warning, but we are still watching this strong thunderstorm with some pretty decent hail coming on along with it. You see there was plenty of lightning in this storm as well, and it's going to continue to make its way further out into the west. I'm going to clear that for a second just to show you this seemingly new severe thunderstorm warning that has popped up just further up into the north. So those of you it looks like it's just passing through Maynardville. So Maynardville, Corrigan, Luttrell, you guys are mostly in the clear, but that storm is now making its way towards Washburn, towards Rutledge. Let's see if we can zoom out a little bit, get that tornado warning out of the way. And there we go. So we're taking a look at this storm right here as this makes its way off to the northeast, right along Highway 131. So if we turn off those warnings, we can finally get a better look at what this system is going to look like as it makes its way over, heading towards Washburn, Thornhill. Washburn, you got about 5 minutes. Punch and Camp about 12. Dotson, just a little under 20 minutes. And then as you get closer into Thornhill, that gets closer to that 30-minute range. But again, this one is not severe as of right now. We are seeing a lot of lightning, likely some small, likely pea-sized hail coming along with that as well. we're going to continue to keep an eye on this storm as it makes its way through. Now I'm going to move out to the full regional view of our area, because along with these scattered storms that we've seen that so far have been along the front, we are now watching a more unified frontal boundary start to make its way through. We had seen some reports coming out of the Nashville area and Middle Tennessee about a wall cloud starting to shift its way in, and we look just into the area of Jamestown and Crossville. That is exactly what we're seeing. We're watching this frontal boundary with those stronger storms, plenty of that lightning making its way on through. We'll turn on the watches and warnings, see if there are any that have come up yet, and so far there have not. It doesn't look like further off into the west we've seen any of those warnings pop up. If we scoot over just a little bit into parts of Middle Tennessee, looks like they're not having any new warnings as of right now, with some much lighter rain coming in behind it. So as we zoom in just a bit to those storms, we can take a closer look. If we can get rid of those tornado warnings for a second, you can see you've got a lot of those stronger storms now crossing their way again into Fentress County. So you guys are having a round two of sorts, really, if you can even think of it that way, going straight out of Pickett down through Jamestown, down through Clark Range, Crawford, now going to be working its way in towards Crossville. You guys are going to be getting that part two as well, because those storms are going to be making their way out of Sparta. So if we can make a little bit of a track right now. Oh, well, that's a pretty intense zoom. We're going to zoom that right back out into the rest of the region. So, again, we're looking at that longer front. I think we're going to toss things over for a little bit in just a second, because Todd Howell, I believe, has some new information that he can show you guys about what we're seeing.
Yeah, thanks, Tavian. We will certainly reset here. Thank you, guys. Yeah, again, some confirmed reports of some large hail coming through portions of West Knox County and continuing to make their way due east. We have new thunderstorms again popping up in Monroe County, also McMinn County. There's the line of storms, as Tavian was just talking about, coming out of Middle Tennessee, accelerating, almost going to catch up with these individual strong to severe storms. A lot of lightning from Oak Ridge to Clinton. Watch out for the heavy rain and possible flooding. As Kaylee talked about a moment ago earlier, and just got a report that, thank you for the update, sirens were going off, tornado sirens in Caryville and La Follette in Campbell County. They stopped about 5 minutes ago. Again, not everybody has tornado sirens. Some communities and counties do. Not all don't. I would say this: don't rely on a tornado siren, because what if somebody's inside the house and has something loud going on or loud music? You may not hear it. So have your phone, your devices charged up. Have a way to receive severe weather alerts, and that's one of the best ways. A NOAA Weather Radio also here, and you can see the scrolls on the bottom of your screen here at Channel 10 will also give you that visual information. But have multiple ways to receive alerts. But just to throw that out there were tornado sirens going off in Campbell County a moment ago. New tornado warning also for Bell County until 8:45, and so heads up right along the from Bell County into Harlan County, and again, more of these storms moving in. Kaylee, I'll send it back over to you.
Todd, thanks so much. We got brand new information right there on our TDOT cameras. Looks like we have some crews working really hard right there. There's a car flipped over, if you can see it on the right side of your screen. It looks like it's right side up though, but it's right off the road right there. And you can see some crews right there working to make sure that person is okay. But like
the BAM, can we take that at the BAM?
Yeah, can we?
And you can illustrate that, because I see exactly what you're saying, Kaylee. Probably a hydroplane vehicle that's, I think it's right side up. It's in a culvert there a little bit, but thankfully not too much, but looks like it's hopefully right side up, and but just probably spun out, although there is a guardrail just above there, so not sure exactly how it got down there. Again, as Kaylee just said, Kaylee, continue. I didn't mean to interrupt. Apologies, but yeah, we can maybe
can we
illustrate
get TDOT
that
in
at
the BAM by chance, possibly, Kelsey?
If
all
not,
right,
it's okay.
We're working on it. We're working on it, but you can definitely see there's more people right there trying to help that person out on the side of the road right there. If you're looking at this is at 40 and Level Road. Looks like it might be eastbound. I think so. Looks like there's an E right there. But you can see some folks right there helping that person out. They must have hydroplaned or something, but it looks like they're walking out unharmed, which is the good thing. So yeah, we are going to the BAM right here. It's going to show you exactly. I know it's kind of hard to see it at first too, just because of all the lights right there, but this is what we're looking at. Those folks right there. So those people right there, I believe that was that person right there who was in the car. We got people right there, crews helping them out. So luckily, it looks like they're okay, but of course we'll get more reports as we learn more. So this is always a good sign, seeing them walk away from the vehicle. All right, let's wind out the bigger picture. What do we got, Tavian?
We have thunderstorm warning, including parts of Campbell. Looking like we're getting some Morgan County as well. This is a fairly new one. It's a pretty large one as well. Seems like it's coming in ahead of some of those storms that we have that are about to approach from that greater front right now. So if we kind of track that over, those are going to be arriving sometime in these next couple of minutes. Didn't mean to turn off the radar. Meant to turn off those.
There we go.
And there's a new one for Anderson and Knox counties. If we zoom back out again, we can finally take a secondary look, and there she is. So a little bit of a busy moment we're seeing right now. We can get a little bit of a closer zoom kind of on this general area. So this region right now we are seeing, all right, we got to turn that guy off. So now we are seeing the severe thunderstorm warning for this greater line of storms that's currently in parts of Fentress County. That's going to scoot its way over into parts of Morgan and a little bit of Scott as well. And then as you get further down, you see the second tornado warning, or excuse me, the second severe thunderstorm warning that we have in parts of Anderson and Knox County. If you really zoom into that there, you include parts of Oak Ridge, you can really see how intense some of those storms are. So we're going to kind of move that around a little bit. We're seeing hail upwards of an inch. This one's going to be going until 9 o'clock. These seem to be heading further into the suburbs and further into the city of Knoxville. So if we kind of watch the track of that, it's going to continue to track just a little bit further north. And as we watch that continue, get into these next couple of areas. We're getting towards Carnes. We're getting towards Powell. Those of you guys are going to be seeing some of those heavier rains as they make their way through. But in the meantime, I'm going to send things back over to Kaylee. We've got a new angle of some new traffic that is on 40, and it looks like quite the backup we have right now.
Yeah, Tavian, thanks so much. Yeah, this is another accident we're looking at. You can definitely see the backup right there. This is right along I-40 and Walker Springs. Looks like crews have only one of those roadways open right now. Not exactly sure what's going on at the moment, but you can see some people getting diverted off to the exit right there. But if you're heading towards 40 and Walker Springs, be prepared for those slowdowns because we're seeing some accidents. But if you're heading westbound, you're fine. It looks like it's, or excuse me, if you're heading eastbound, it's the westbound lane that looks to be a little bit more on the delayed side. I'm not sure exactly what we're looking at, but definitely looks to be delayed because of the weather. Kelsey, do we have any more TDOT cameras that we're looking at right now? All right, we're going to switch TDOT cameras. What? Wow. Okay. Look at that. Look at that. So the cars are going this way. Looks like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
That's kind of crazy. Why would you do that?
Did you see that?
Absolutely not.
What? All right. I mean, I'm glad he's okay, or that person's okay. What? All right, let's go ahead and take that full screen. Yeah, so this is what we're looking at 40 in Paper Mill. Oh my goodness. All right, so yeah, we have a good reminder to turn your headlights on. I mean, look how busy the 40 in Paper Mill is actually right now. First off, I'm glad that person got out of the way because the traffic really seems to be picking up, but oh my goodness, that was quite a scary sight. So we're seeing quite a few cars moving through there, but it looks like that vehicle does at least have their headlights turned on. So a lot of people heading that way towards 40 and Paper Mill. Yeah, be prepared for some delays. There you go. There, what? Do you guys see that?
You know what it is, though? It's most likely because they are on the wrong side of the road. They need to get to the exit, whether they're looking for some kind of help, but that's not the right idea.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they're being okay. They're trying to stay safe, but do not drive in between, or do not run in between the cars like that on the interstate. And it looks like that vehicle spun out right there because, like Tavian mentioned, the cars are going one way, but that car turned the other way. But yeah, the roads are very slippery because of these very strong showers and thunderstorms. We'll keep an eye out on this, but yeah, if you don't have to go outside, wow, please do not go outside. We're still watching 40 and Walker Springs right there, quite the backup. You can see some more crews making their way right there, getting closer and closer to that accident. Not sure exactly what's going on right there, but we're still watching multiple lane closures right along 40 and Walker Springs. We're going to continue to monitor the TDOT cameras, but we still want to focus on those thunderstorm and those tornado warnings. This is what we're seeing. Tavian, can we zoom out, go to the ADI view, just see exactly what we're looking at, kind of do a little bit of a reset and show you what's going on. So first thing, if you are just tuning in, we are tracking multiple showers and thunderstorms for this evening. Right now, it's 8:43 on your Sunday evening. Right now, we're seeing 2 tornado warnings. That's indicated by that shade of red. That shade of yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thunderstorm warnings right now here in East Tennessee. So let's go ahead and zoom in. We can go to either of the tornado warnings, maybe go to the one towards La Follette, Tavian, if we can. but we're seeing widespread showers and thunderstorms, but also look at all that lightning. That's lightning within the past 15 minutes. So tonight, just a perfect time to stay indoors. So here's that first tornado warning, I believe is what it was. Tavian took off the, yeah, there we go, perfect, thank you. So again, tornado warning in Campbell County. This is in effect for another 20 seconds. So we're just gonna hang on to this. It's supposed to expire at 8:45. Let's just watch this just to be on the safe side because, I mean, look at that. Can we move up just a little bit, Tavian? Other up, down I should say. Because here we go. This is the tail end of the storm right there. So it's also moving northeast. So this should be expiring right now. Beautiful. All right, so let's zoom out and do another reset. As of now, there are no active tornado warnings in East Tennessee. There is an active tornado warning right now in Southwest Virginia. We can talk about that here for just a moment, but I really want to focus on those active thunderstorm warnings. So again, those of you in Southwest Virginia and even a little bit into Southeast Kentucky, still under a tornado warning. This is for Harlan County until 9:15 this evening. So this is another 30 minutes this will be going, but we're really watching those thunderstorm warnings right now. So Tavian, let's go ahead and zoom on back out once again, show you exactly what's going on as far as those thunderstorm warnings go. So if you're in Sevier County, down towards Maryville, Lenore City, Rockwood, south, you're good. But the further north you go, watching those thunderstorm warnings. So the first one we're looking at is, where's the arrow? There we go. All right, so the first one we're looking at is Anderson, Knox, Loudoun, and Roane counties. This is in effect till 9 o'clock this evening. So this is for about another 14 minutes. Again, no active tornado warnings, but we are watching multiple thunderstorm warnings at the moment. And if we can go ahead and put the track on this, Tavian, that would be awesome because we're still seeing some very strong showers and thunderstorms, producing hail, looks to be about 1 inch in diameter. So that's quarter size hail. That's pretty big. That's about the size of my bracelet right here, or the size of a little smaller than your Apple Watch. So hail 1 inch in diameter, also tracking very gusty winds. We're seeing wind gusts anywhere between about 30, 40 miles an hour, if not even greater. So this system is moving about 30 miles an hour east, northeast. So if you're in Berkshire Wood, get to your safe space now. Again, we're watching active thunderstorm warnings at the moment. If you're over towards Stonebrook, you have 3 minutes. Westavia Woods, 4 minutes, 8 minutes until the system moves into the Third Creek area. West Knoxville, I know a lot of people live there. We have a lot of coworkers that live there. If you're in West Knoxville, you have that chance for some strong showers and thunderstorms within the next about 12 minutes. Again, no active thunderstorm or no active tornado warnings are issued right now, but we are watching Knoxville about 13 minutes. So downtown Knoxville, Smithwood, about 17 minutes, 18 minutes for Island Home right along Spring Place, 22 minutes and 25 minutes if you're heading over towards the Brookfield Acres area. Again, we are watching some of those numbers change, but we're just watching multiple thunderstorm warnings. I'm going to take a brief pause, do a little reset, but Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell has some brand new information. Todd.
Okay, thank you very much, Kaylee, and Tavian in the Channel 10 Weather Center as well. We do have a tornado warning for Pennington Gap area right along the Harlan County, Kentucky line and Lee County, Virginia line. This is on the fringe of the Channel 10 viewing area, but we do have an individual tornado warning. So if you're watching us from Jonesville, Pennington Gap, and again, Kaywood in Harlan County, Kentucky, Jonesville, Pennington Gap, St. Charles, and Lee County, Virginia. Again, this is a tornado warning. Rotation, damage and winds possible as this storm tracks off to the east and will continue to impact the northern portions of Lee County. Wow, look at that. Again, we cover a wide area here at Channel 10. We have 7 counties cover up in southeast Kentucky. We have Lee County in Virginia and 26 counties here in East Tennessee. So again, we cover a wide area, including that, yeah, we even can detect, and Doppler is detecting a pretty strong couplet. Look at that. Damaging winds, unfortunately, again, making their way to the east, leaving Harlan County, Kentucky, but this is the county line right here. This is Harlan County. This is Lee County, Virginia. Thank you, Tavian. And again, this is some potential strong rotation with damaging winds. So if you're watching this between Jonesville and Pennington Gap, you need to get to your safe place in Lee County, Virginia. as this could be some damaging winds. Your safe place is the lowest floor of your sturdy home or building, a sturdy structure. Again, the lowest floor, basement, ideal if you don't have a basement, the lowest floor away from outer walls and windows, an interior room like a bathroom, hallway, or closet, and at least away from the outer walls, and wait for that storm to pass. Some hail, but again, the stronger indication was that potential for some damaging winds and possible tornadoes. So that's a tornado warning that's going to be in place again for Lee County, Virginia, Harlan County, Kentucky until 9 p.m. The other factor we can kind of, yes, there's a look at radar. Thank you very much, Tavian, as this storm right along the Harlan County line into Lee County, Virginia, and that storm will continue to track due east. One of the other factors we're looking at, heavy rainfall. We've seen some impacts, and here's the track, thank you, Tavian, on this storm into Lee County, Virginia, and we'll talk more about that rainfall in a moment. But there's a look at some of the individual communities, 19 minutes or less, Pennington Gap, and I mentioned due north of Jonesville, between Jonesville and Pennington Gap in Lee County, Virginia. This is the storm right here that could have some potential rotation. Law Gap School. Our database on some of these the small community schools, the school may or may not be there. It's just a total side note. So if you see, oh, I remember that school was there 30 years ago. We understand, we got it. It's our company has to update that. Meanwhile, okay, here's what we're seeing right now, Market Square. There's the lightning looking off in the distance. That's now past Mascot and Strawberry Plains and continue to make its way into portions of Cumberland Heights near Johnson University and continue to make its way out of Knox County into Jefferson and northern Sevier County, especially Jefferson County right there north of Kodak, and continue to make its way into Jefferson County. Now, one quick note. We've had strong to severe storms. We've had some tornado warnings. We've had hail reports. We've had some heavy rain. A little bit of good news here. Remember how we've needed the rain? We're checking that box right now. Some of you getting a lot of rain from Farragut, Hardin Valley, and Powell. Again, coming down, certainly not pleasant to drive in, but looking on the bright side for a moment. Thank you. There's a look at that rainfall potential. I think that's over an inch, inch and a half, at least right along the Anderson-Knox County line and adding up. Goodness gracious, yeah, that's a 5.5 inch total. Just outside our viewing area, but along the Tennessee-Kentucky state line, there's just over a 1/2 inch around Oak Ridge. Again, inch reports, thank you. Feel like these are, yeah, popping up like Wheel of Fortune. No, but about 1.5 inches or so right along the Knox and Anderson County border, east of Knoxville, just starting to rain for eastern areas. But that's a look at the observed rainfall. But again, you get the idea what we're seeing as these stronger showers and storms. All right, back to what we're seeing right now, resetting with radar. And Kaylee talked about this a moment ago. The one tornado warning we have is for Harlan County, Kentucky, and Lee County, Virginia, bounded by severe thunderstorm warnings. Say damaging winds possible east of Ewing, heading toward Jonesville and Pennington Gap. And I mentioned between Jonesville and Pennington Gap. It's not there yet, but that's indicating. Yeah, zoom on into this. And again, no, this is, if folks in East Tennessee, they may not be familiar with this area, but you know what? We got folks that all across a wide viewing area that we have to cover, and this is pretty strong couplet that Doppler radar is showing up in Morristown. I believe this is still Morristown's radar. It may be Jackson's. And look at that wind velocity, 78 miles per hour, seeing some strong inbound and outbound velocity. See where you see these brighter yellow colors. And again, we're looking at it from two different vantage points, but still decent velocity. And that's why there's a tornado warning that is in effect for Lee County, Virginia. Again, heading toward Jonesville and Pennington Gap. So you certainly need to be in your safe place. See this notch or hook? Put this phone away right here. Here's what's going on. That's what we're looking at. You've got the inflow into this notch right here. If a storm is moving in, a lot of times there'll be some rain or hail. A lot of times if there's a tornado, it's on the back side of the storm, yet the back end of it. It's not usually on the front end, it's usually on the back end. That's a look at the inflow notch that Tavian is illustrating right there. And again, that's what we're seeing. So this tornado, see what Doppler radar is looking at is the rain. But a tornado wraps the rain around it. There's actually a void of no rain where the tornado is located. And this is what we call the rear flank downdraft, where you have damaging winds on the backside of it. That's the notch right there. And so it's the tornado, potential tornado, or at least funnel cloud, wall cloud that's rotating, cyclonic rotation, twisting in this motion right here. That's wrapping the rain around the potential tornado. That's what we're seeing on Doppler radar. This is a look at reflectivity. And when we show you velocity, we're showing you the inbound and outbound colors, and that's the actual wind direction. There has to be something in the air, and to show the wind, like rain, dust particles, insects, birds, etc., whatever it may be. But that's what we're looking at with that rotation, and that's what we're seeing on Doppler radar. There's the velocity scan with the inbound and outbound colors. And again, that's a pretty strong couplet there. So again, in Lee County, Virginia, we want you to be in your safe place. Again, here's Jonesville. Again, Ford C. Quillen area right there, Law Gap School, and trying to read what that says. School may or may not be there right now, Bethel School, but again, it could be old on our mapping system. But either way, it's heading east toward Jonesville and Pennington Gap. And if you live near Hockett and or watching this, and also this town right there, you need to take cover in Lee County, Virginia. Fleenertown as well. That's going to be heading in your direction. I'll take a stab at it. Oconeta, that's about all I got right there. So that's what we're looking at as this storm tracks off to the east. Elsewhere, heavy rain, strong, possible severe storms, again, occurring back down in the valley in around Knoxville. And again, we have seen the very heavy rainfall at times with the hail reports as well. Earlier, we had quarter-size hail. Thank you, Roberta in Clinton. Thank you, Alex Kane in Farragut, Campbell Station Road area. Thank you, Nolan, for also a report of some quarter-size hail being relayed from the Campbell Station Road area. And again, that's the tornado warning we have right now. Let me send it over to Kaylee and Tavian for some updated information. Thank you for staying with us, folks. We want everybody to be safe on this Sunday evening.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Tavian's going to head over to the BAM real quick, but we want to talk about what was going on right now in parts of Virginia right now. There is a brand new tornado warning that's just kind of extended off from the one that Todd just talked about just a moment ago. So this includes parts of Lee County. So this is Dryden, Jonesville, and Pennington Gap. We're going to continue to monitor this. This is still the same tornado warning that Todd had just mentioned about, but looks like it's kind of just being extended a little further east. Again, this is in Southwest Virginia. So we're going to continue to watch this, but looking all across the bigger picture, this is what we're seeing in East Tennessee. That is the only tornado warning we're looking at the moment in Virginia. We are watching 4 thunderstorm warnings, one right now in Virginia and also in parts of Kentucky, highlighted by that shade of yellow. But here in East Tennessee, let's zoom in just a little bit closer, get rid of that tornado warning. Again, all right, real quick, we do have a brand new thunderstorm warning, and then we'll talk more about the traffic conditions that we're looking at. Brand new thunderstorm warning, that just came down for Granger, Jefferson, Knox, and Sevier County. So this includes places like Corryton, here in Knoxville, Mascot, and Powell. This is in effect till 10 o'clock this evening, so this is going to be going on for about an hour or so. So we have a brand new thunderstorm warning that has been included for part of East Tennessee. So right now we are watching 4 thunderstorm warnings right now. The only tornado warning at the moment is in Southwest Virginia. You can see that right there. But again, if you are in Knoxville, everyone pretty much in Knox County under a thunderstorm warning. You can see that system right there. And actually, look at all that lightning as well. Those little white blobs that are popping up. Yeah, that's lightning within the past few minutes. So we're going to stop this radar loop here real quick. And actually, a good portion of Knox County is divided. So we're hearing rumbles of thunder here at the station, seeing some very heavy rain if you're in West Knox, also still seeing some heavy rain. South Knoxville, right along the river, even downtown, not seeing the rain just yet. If you're in East Knoxville, no rain at the moment, but over towards Kodak, Skagston, Strawberry Plains, still seeing some of that light to moderate rain, but we definitely had that chance for some of these showers and thunderstorms to be a little bit more on the stronger side. So right now, we're watching that tornado warning in Southwest Virginia, and also that thunderstorm warning in Southwest Virginia and Southeast Kentucky, but also seeing right now 4 thunderstorm warnings for East Tennessee. And we are watching this one line right now moving in from Middle Tennessee, so spanning from Huntsville, Wartburg, Crossville, all the way over towards the Nashville area. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Could be producing another line of showers and thunderstorms within the next several hours. But we are going to take a look at our TDOT cameras, and for that, we're going to send things over to Tavian Whitehurst over at the Big Wall. Tavian?
Thank you very much, Kaylee. We're actually waiting just a second. We're going to try and get up our Market Square camera because you can see the darkness. Not only because it's getting dark outside, we're getting close to that sunset, but you can really, sheesh, look at that lightning strike as well as it starts to take over from the city, coming in from the west, moving into the east. It's active, it's busy, and it is encroaching on downtown. So you can see we've got those pretty often and consistent lightning strikes coming in just every couple of seconds. This is coming from the Market Square camera. Surprisingly, we don't even have our downtown camera working as of right now. Market Square is getting the job done. We're looking at this is a bit of a shove cloud that I'm seeing right now, just coming in from the bottom. You got lightning ahead of and behind it. So that's going to continue to move through the Bearden area, through Fort Saunders, passing over all of the intersections of our interstates as you get into the downtown area. That seems like it's going to continue moving its way into the Market Square area. I mean, busy to say the least. Temperatures seemingly sitting in the 70s or so. And it's just a pretty, I mean, aside from this rainfall, it's pretty messy out there. You're watching that storm continue to make its way through the downtown area. It's going to continue moving through Knoxville as a whole. So honestly, if we want to switch back to a radar a little bit, we're going to keep seeing this rainfall push its way into the rest of the region. So this is a look again at that Market Square camera. You can see hopefully not too many people are outside because of this rainfall that we're seeing. So we can zoom in here into the Knox area. You can see again, we were just talking about, and two of them are out of the way. Look at that. So we're still continuing to watch this line of storms as it makes its way coming out of Anderson County and a little bit to the north as well, passing off of Union. Those are now gone. We're watching these very lightning laden storms that continue to make their way into the city of Knoxville, seemingly passing a little bit on the more northern side. Not southern Knoxville, right across the river, not showing to get as much of that rain, but as you get here onto the northern side, going from west, storms right now sitting in Farragut, continuing to make their way over into the western northern side of Knoxville. So those of you along Middlebrook Pike, Clinton Highway, getting your way up to Powell, Fountain City, and further up north into areas like Halls, you guys are still seeing a lot of that heavier rain. Here's some times we got right now. Asbury, Skagston coming within the next 10 minutes. Strawberry Plains and Kodak coming within the next 15 minutes. Wilkerton, New Market, Jefferson City, all within about 20 minutes or so. That's sitting here behind me as you get further into parts of Jefferson County. You see some of those moderate storms making their way into Skagston, plenty of that lightning. We've got Woodlertown over here just about 16 minutes. They've got a pretty heavy downpour sitting over them as well. And we're going to continue to watch these storms here that are sitting over really the northern part of Knoxville continue to make their way further over east within this bubble as they work their way into Hamlin County. So now we are looking at 1, 2, and a new third severe thunderstorm warning as we look a little bit further out into the west. This is this new line that we've been investigating. We were really watching over these past couple of days to see whether this rain was going to come in 2 or 3 rounds or so, but it really has started to unify into just continuous action that we've been seeing since about 5 p.m. So there has been some conversation with the National Weather Service, and they've been saying for this secondary line of storms that have been coming along this front, we're hoping that they're going to stay sub-tornadic. So that's going to be keeping those winds under 50 or so miles per hour. Generally, we are still seeing those, which is why we have those severe thunderstorm warnings, but more so, we're going to be seeing less of that rotation, a little bit smaller of that hail as well. But this is another new severe thunderstorm warning that has popped up, including Crab Orchard, Lake Tansy, and Lantana, mostly in Cumberland counties. This is lying just south of the Crossville area. You can see these storms here traveling right through, coming out of the Sparta region and leaving out of Spence. Is going to continue to push its way east over some of that water, possibly pick up a little bit more of that moisture, drop a little bit more. Looks like not too much lightning in that bundle in particular, but there likely is some lightning that is going to continue to follow behind it. We move a little bit further over into the east. You're seeing some more lighter scattered showers that also have a lot of lightning attached to them as well. It looks like I've got severe thunderstorm warnings on either side of me. So we got this one here that's getting into the city of Knoxville, passing over parts of Jefferson County as well. There we go. It's now including parts of Dandridge, getting into Jefferson County, moving right into the city. You can watch some of those stronger cells, more of that heavy laden lightning coming in very, very often and continue to pass as it makes its way over. Strawberry Plains looks like you guys are going to be next within these next couple of minutes as we continue to make our way further into the north. So if you're traveling along 11 East, you're heading towards Maynardville, maybe a little bit of Sharps Chapel, Washburn, you guys are likely going to see some of these storms as well, even getting towards Bean Station. Jefferson City, you guys have a cell that's about to come right over top of you. Strawberry Plains, you guys are getting a little bit left behind, but we're going to continue to see this over at least the next half hour or so as we keep watching those storms. So take taking a look at the lightning right now, there's just a lot of it all throughout the region because of how powerful these storms are. They're generating a lot of that heat and that storm as they continue to make their way on through. So you're looking again, we do still have this one tornado warning that's going to be going until 9:45. So just a little under 45 minutes left. There is that tornado warning that we're seeing right here in parts of Cumberland County. We were originally looking at some on the other side in Kentucky as well. And this one has since extended to include parts of Pennington Gap. Now, Todd was just telling you about this hook echo that we were seeing right here on the reflectivity and what that meant about these winds flowing inward towards Jonesville, and then that boundary continuing to push its way further out and continue to push its way to the east. So for those of you that are in the line of this hook, Jonesville, you've got about a minute to make sure you are getting downstairs to that basement, to that bathroom, somewhere without windows, so that you can be safe from this possible tornado. Lee County Health Clinic, Ben-Hur, the medical center, Pennington Gap, all within 10 minutes. Pennington Gap sitting all the way out further towards here, towards the end of that bubble. Towards the end of that polygon, you can see right there, getting past Pennington Gap, you've got Woodway, the Dry Creek School, Stickleyville Elementary School, all within about 20 minutes or so, just a little bit past this polygon as well. So this is something that could continue to kind of keep moving if this storm continues to maintain its strength. It originally, the storm that it was attached to as it made its way past Harlan, it was having a bit of a northeasterly direction, but it seems to have shifted a little bit. Now it's trending a little bit further southward and moving almost directly east as it gets into parts of southwestern Virginia. So those of you, again, Pennington Gap, Jonesville, Dryden, it looks like it's sitting over Jonesville right now as we speak. So if you're in the northern region, that area, make sure you're heading inside. No matter what you're hearing, the safest place you can be, no matter what's going on, is going to be in that basement. But looks like we're moving a little bit further back into East Tennessee to focus a little bit more on the severe thunderstorm warnings that we're seeing. I can hear some heavier rain happening over us right now on our roof. It's getting a little noisy, but we're watching this line of storms, this powerful line of storms here, mainly for winds getting over 60 miles per hour. It looks like we're seeing hail. Actually, doesn't look like too much mention of hail actually, so that might be on the lighter end, and alas, there it is. So we're seeing some hail signatures likely greater than pea size, up to maybe an inch and a half that we've been seeing with these storms. And so there has been a little bit of discussion with the National Weather Service again, hoping that those storms are going to stay subtornadic. So we could still see those gusty winds, those straight line winds, which have continued to be our number one threat. But again, we're still seeing a lot of hail with these storms. You can see here just the northwest of Kodak getting towards Dandridge. Huge hail core right here, but we're likely seeing some of that greater hail. You get further into the city of Knoxville. If you're in Knoxville and you're in a safe location, definitely grab some of that hail if it happens on your porch. Maybe don't pop open the door real quick if it's not safe, but if it is, maybe catch some of that hail as it's falling down in your window if you're able to look and things are looking safe, because it looks like we are getting some pretty strong hail based on the vertical liquid right now. Again, that vertical motion that creates hail, that up and down, that rotation, that up and down rotation that creates that hail before it becomes heavy enough, and that storm just has to drop it and let it down. That rain overhead is getting a lot intenser, more intense, which is just another sign to show that these storms are still gaining a good amount of strength as well. You're now taking a look at the severe thunderstorm warning and the storm as a whole. This thing is huge, stretching all the way down from Central, getting deep into the city of Knoxville, and even spreading a little bit further into the north as well. So getting further into Halls, if you're on Emory Road around Emory High School, Emory Elementary, you're definitely going to want to make sure you're being careful. Skagsden, even getting up to Coreyton, we're watching a huge connection here actually as the storm makes its way from Blaine and actually all the way down into the city of Knoxville, including this last little piece that's down here on Farragut. So a lot of these larger scattered storms are showing to get just a little bit smaller, bit by bit, but a lot of them were actually starting to connect a little bit. So we're seeing this storm here work its way into Carrollton, a little bit of a gap here in this lightning of this storm that's making its way towards Strawberry Plains. Powell, you guys were getting some of that rain. You guys are a little clearer now, but you have this last little piece that's heading towards you. Farragut, you've got this last little chain that's heading towards you as well, but this is the greater system. Thank you for that circle, Todd. This is this greater cluster that we're really watching, heavy with lightning, heavy with the hail. We're not looking at anything tornadic quite yet. We're not looking at any rotation with these storms, but we still are at least seeing the fast winds. Could we maybe get a look at velocity and see what some of these winds are doing? Again, heavy on the hail, heavy on the winds. We're seeing a lot of these bright greens. That's likely going to signify some wind speeds getting upwards of 40, maybe even closer to 50 miles per hour. I'm seeing this bright green pocket right here between Corrington and there we go, 43 miles per hour just south of Corrington, 47 miles miles per hour. So we're getting upwards of 50, which is already in that severe range. 56 miles per hour here in the Farragut area. So again, even with some of these smaller clusters, you still have to look out for these gusty winds, those straight line winds, those downbursts that come out of it. It doesn't matter how small the cluster may be because the winds are still a part of it. It was created because of all these systems. I can take a look at the Market Square camera out of the corner of my eye, and I'm still seeing that lightning there in the camera. I'm hearing it here in the station. I doubt you can probably hear it through the microphone, but it is getting very, very active. We'll see if, yep. Didn't even have to really wish on it. Those strikes are going to be coming nonetheless. We're going to keep watching these storms as they make their way through downtown Knoxville and through really the surrounding areas, because we're watching these high wind speeds throughout the entirety of the region. Now, everybody else is still trying to check it around. I believe Todd Howell's about ready for me to switch things off for a little bit. Todd, are you seeing anything new?
Tavian, I got a bottle of cold water for you right here. You as well, Kaylee. Great job. And thank you, Tabitha. Come and get it, Tavian. Thank you so much. Yeah, as Tavian just talked about, intense lightning storms making their way, again, through the region. We're just after 9 p.m. We've had these ongoing strong to severe thunderstorms. We've had multiple tornado warnings. That's why we're continuing to bring you long-form coverage. We're hoping these storms are going to continue to die down. We need the rain. We can certainly check that box as we have some intense heavy rain and even some flooding, but we're also getting strong to severe storms with a lot of lightning, some hail, and unfortunately some severe weather. Sometimes, you know what, to get the good, which we need the rain, sometimes you have to take the bad that goes along with it, so to speak, in terms of the storm potential. But hopefully at the end of the day, everybody's going to fare okay. Yeah, storms making their way through Knoxville and Knox County, as Tatum was talking about a moment ago. A lot of lightning. And let me just stop the radar just for a second. You can kind of see what we're looking at. Again, the core of strongest storms from Maynardville and Union County right into Knox County. As Tatum was talking about, Corrington to Knoxville and all areas in between, a lot of lightning. That's what we're seeing on the Market Square camera. As Kaylee pointed that to the north, what we're looking at. And yes, we are looking at more of these clusters of thunderstorms, Sweetwater, Maryville, Tellico Plains. And here's the additional line of storms. Initially, it wasn't severe. Coming over the plateau, it does have potential for damage winds. Huntsville, Wartburg, Lantana, Lake Tansy, and Cumberland County. And yes, as Kaylee just pointed out, we still have an ongoing tornado warning, and this is for Jonesville, Pennington Gap, Dryden, in Lee County, Virginia. Again, indications were that we did have some decent rotation, and I'll probably go over the big monitor here, David. I'll let y'all have that. I'll continue. But we are looking at this particular storm in Lee County, Virginia, that is continuing to make its way due east, and we'll get that for you in a moment. I'll step out of the way, Kelsey, so we can get the BAM monitor shot. But Pennington Gap, Dryden, Jonesville, again, the potential for 1-inch size hail, but we have a red polygon, which indicates the potential for a tornado warning. And again, that's what we're seeing right now. Thank you, Kelsey, and great job in the back directing on the severe weather coverage. All right, so here's what we're seeing. Again, that's a look, and we'll update the radar here in a moment. There it goes right there. But just northeast of Jonesville, south of Pennington Gap, potential for some strong rotation that we've been seeing off and on. Velocity's been showing that. Again, potential rotation with the storms wrapping around, the rain wrapping around the tornadic storm. And so we'll keep you updated on that. We know we're getting storms. We hear some of our surge protectors beeping and some of our battery backup. So we've got, hopefully you're faring well at home right now. You may have your lights flickering, etc. Got the lightning, got the loud thunder, and lightning comes first and then thunder. We got the heavy rain, and again, even a lot of pond and water, and we do have severe thunderstorms. So we take you up into Cumberland County, Crab Orchard, Lake Tansy, Lantana, as I mentioned a moment ago. And again, we're looking down into Ray and Bledsoe County here, but that severe thunderstorm does continue from portions of Ray and Bledsoe County up into the southern portion of Cumberland County. This does include Westall, Ozone, Crab Orchard, as we mentioned. That also includes Rockwood and right down Walden's Ridge from Rockwood to Spring City. So right on the eastern edge of the escarpment of the plateau. Again, this storms, a lot of times we see that, right? By the way, just a quick topographic note, a lot of times winds feed up into Cumberland County up through the Sequatchie Valley. If you look at a topo map, it's just basically a funnel of air that can come right up into Cumberland County, and a lot of times that feeds some stronger storms up on the Cumberland Plateau, which is a separate study for another time. But Knox County, a lot of lightning coming up into Union County as well, and again, that's the core of the storms that Tavian was talking about a moment ago. Corrington, again, up toward Blaine, Maynardville, Plainview, right along the Union, Granger, Knox County line, and again, that's what we're seeing, those storms making their way up into Granger County and right along Clinch Mountain Burton Veterans Parkway. These will continue to be tracking due east, also working their way from up into Jefferson City, earlier New Market and Talbot, and will continue to make their way toward Dandridge, White Pine, Morristown, Alpha, and again, so the Lakeway area between Morristown and Dandridge, from Jefferson County up into Hamlin County, and also Granger, and eventually up toward Hancock and Hawkins counties. This is where we're seeing that new cluster of storms. Look at that heavy rainfall. That's what just went through portions of Knox County. More stronger storms, as you can see, in Powell. And again, here's a look at potential rain. Go ahead and query that right there north of Knoxville. And there you go, 1.5 inches. But just like that, didn't take long for that to occur. Just over a 1/2 inch in Strawberry Plains. Morristown, again, White Pine, and up toward Whitesburg, storms are heading your direction. So far, again, light amounts of rain, but everything's moving from west to east. And a lot of you folks are probably wondering about, what about my area? When are we going to see the storms, etc.? And Tavian, I'm switch gears on you a little bit. If we can go back to radar and then maybe look at a Futurecast. We'll show a little bit of Futurecast of what we're expecting as we go forward. I'll give you a 1/2 second or two and we'll pull that up. But there's a look at what we're seeing, again, right now from Knoxville, Strawberry Plains, toward Jefferson City, into the Lakeway area. And again, that's what we're currently seeing. And if you're downstream, here's a look at what we're seeing in our Futurecast. Thank you, guys. Again, temperature's still warm and humid. All right, here's the timeline. Here's 10 p.m. Again, right now it's o'clock. I'm watch on because I'm charging it, my smartwatch, but I believe it's somewhere there. It is right there, 9:15. Thank you, guys. Just look at the clock, Todd. There's what we're seeing right there. 45 minutes from right now at 10 o'clock. Storms will be in the Dandridge, Morristown area. Then 11 p.m. they'll be in the Greenville area. So here's the good news as far as the storms. They're going to be out of here over the next couple of hours. So we're basically talking about maybe another hour, hour and a half of most of the storms, maybe 2 hours. But then this is midnight tonight. They're pretty much into North Carolina. Temperatures slowly cool in the 60s. May have a few leftover spotty showers or so here and there. But the intensity of the storms should be out of here and weakening after another at least 2 hours, if not before. So Tavian, thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, here you go. Here's a look at our Market Square camera. Now, normally we point the camera down on Market Squares, down below the monitor here. We pointed it up in the sky. We're looking to east, northeast. So these are the storms right there that are popping in East Knox County up into portions of Granger County. Yeah, and also portions of Jefferson County, and especially at night. You know, a lot of times, yeah, thank you for taking it full, Kelsey. At night, obviously, you can see the lightning a lot easier because when it's flashing, it's easier to see versus the daytime. Again, this is happening in the daytime as well, but you don't see as much of the flashes of lightning when it's light outside, right? Because it's just harder to see. So at nighttime, this is what you see. Oh, by the way, quick note. If you see a thunderstorm and you see the lightning, but you don't hear the thunder, there's no such thing as heat lightning. It's a thunderstorm. It's too far away to hear the thunder. The speed of light is much faster than the speed of sound. So just side note. So it's a thunderstorm, and that's what we're seeing right now. The lightning can be flashing. You can see storms all the way, a lot of times late at night, well into North Carolina. Once they pass, you'll still see lightning at night, even though you won't hear the thunder. It's just too far away to hear it. It's a thunderstorm. No such thing as heat lightning. Just a quick PSA and disclaimer there. That's what we're looking at. Skagston, Strawberry Plains, some heavier showers and storms. Again, this is all the lightning that's been moving through Powell up toward Halls and Fountain City. You got another round of some heavier rain for you. And good news for the lawns and tomato plants in the gardens. Good watering to go along with the storms. Look at all the lightning activity, and that's just from the past 30 to 45 minutes, less than the past hour. And that's what we've been seeing in Knox County, including Middlebrook Pike coming in from Bearden. Again, Knoxville up past Fountain City, Tazewell Pike, Skagston up toward, again, Emory Road, Tazewell Pike from Gibbs and Corrington, and continuing up toward Blaine and Plainview. That's the core of those stronger and even some severe storms. Now, if you're watching us back from Jamestown to Fentress County, Morgan, Scott County, this line of strong to severe thunderstorms with heavy rainfall is pushing back to the east. Notice these storms, you can even see on radar the wind. You can kind of tell when the wind's pushing that out right there. That's why that storm's severe. We'll do a little bit of a velocity check if you want to, Kaylee and Tavian, we'll check that out. But that's what's making that storm severe, at least it was at one point right there. Yeah, look at all that. Query that right there. So Norma, Robin, Sunbright, that's a lot of bright blue colors, and that's typically what we're seeing when we have 60 mile-per-hour winds or greater, just under that right now at 58 to 59, but on that threshold of severe winds, and that's a large area. You could see the wind pushing it out on radar, right? That's what we call a bowing segment. And so when it's bowing out like that right there, that's what we're seeing with some of those stronger potential winds. So heads up, Norma, Winona, Elk Valley, Pioneer, coming right south of Stinking Creek and south of Jellicoe, and moving right toward to Campbell County toward Interstate 75. So if you're in Caryville, Jacksboro, La Follette, and also Fincastle, McLeod Mountain, you've got this line of potential strong to severe winds heading in your direction. I'll take a break and send it over to Kaylee Bowers in the Weather Center. Kaylee?
Hey Todd, thanks so much. Yeah, go get a drink of water real quick. We just got a report from our producer and our director in the back saying that here at the station we're actually getting reports of hail. So Tavian's working on trying to get some video so we can get you guys updated as far as the hail potential here in North Knoxville. But let's go ahead and take a break. We're going to go ahead and reset. We're not going off air or anything. We're still watching the radar and showing you exactly what's going on. So widening out the bigger picture, we are still watching this one tornado warning right now in parts of southeast Kentucky and southwest Virginia. Actually, right now it's just in southwest Virginia. It has been allowed to expire in the Kentucky viewing area. So right now just in Lee County, Virginia, near the Dryden and Pennington Gap, this is in effect for about another less than 30-ish minutes, right around 9:45. So let's take a look at that real quick. We still care about our viewers in southwest Virginia. So as far as this goes, let's take a look at the velocity here. Wow, very interesting rotation right there. Let's go ahead and see the wind speeds as well. What we're looking at is around 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts going one direction. Looks like about 20 in another. Let's see if we see any hail.
Up there.
Yeah, Todd, thank you. Yeah,
we're still showing some signature there.
Now we're seeing some hail potential as well. Let's go ahead and query off the watches and warnings map. And looks like we're seeing a hail actually about 3/4 inch in diameter. I want to actually widen out the bigger picture and see as far as our hail potential goes all across the area. Might be a little too far out to see, but like I just mentioned, we are seeing some hail here in North Knoxville. So yeah, right there in downtown actually. We'll zoom into there. Just near the Williams Creek Golf Course, Island Home, Meads Quarry, Mule Hollow. Let's see. Well, that's not it. Let's see if we can get that in for half an inch hail in diameter. Looks like half an inch of hail once again, quarter size hail. So yeah, we're seeing some decent amount of hail here in Knox County as well. And let's actually take a look at the radar, see what's going on here in Knox County. We are still under that severe thunderstorm warning for about another 40 minutes. So that includes Granger, Jefferson, Knox, and Sevier County. So if you're in Corrigan, Knoxville, Mascot, Powell, everyone under that severe thunderstorm warning. And we're going to wind out the bigger picture here and show you just how many severe thunderstorm warnings we are looking at. Right now there's 1, 2, 3, there's about 4. Looks like there's actually 5, but this one right here in Cumberland County, it's right next to the one right near Bledsoe, Ray, Roane, and Scottsboro counties. So again, we are watching multiple rounds of scattered showers and thunderstorms. Right now, there is only that one tornado warning in southwest Virginia. So let's go ahead and play the radar loop one more time, show you what's going on. First off, look at all of that lightning. That's those white lightning bolts. This is lightning, I believe, within the past 15 minutes, I think.
It's less than an hour.
Less than an hour, but still, that's still a lot of lightning. So perfect time just to stay inside. And we're still watching this other line moving in from Middle Tennessee. Let's actually stop the radar loop. And we're going to take off the warnings. The warnings aren't expired, but they're still there. But I want to look at the track of this. I know this is a very long track spanning all the way south. And it's moving about 30 miles an hour. So some of the cities that we'll be seeing this line move through, and you can kind of see the highlights right there from Caryville, Oliver Springs, Spring City. There's a few right there on the map that you can see just a little bit, but you can also look at this box right here as well. So Caryville, you're seeing these strong showers and thunderstorms right now. Oliver Springs in the next 3 minutes, La Follette in the next 7 minutes, Briceville in the next 10 minutes, Spring City 14 minutes, Oak Ridge 15 minutes, in 20 minutes Apollo Shores, Clinton 22 minutes, Sherwood Estates 26 minutes, and Edgemoor 27 minutes. But again, I want to reiterate, we are just seeing severe thunderstorm warnings right now here in East Tennessee. The only tornado warning we're looking at is in southwest Virginia. Kelsey, are we seeing anything outside on any of our TDOT cameras or any of our sky cams at the moment? All right, we are not getting any reports, which is a good thing. That is a good thing. Earlier we saw multiple accidents on the roads, and we're still seeing quite a bit of lightning outside all across the area. We're going to go ahead and play the radar loop again, just show you what's going on outside. Of course, and we're going to keep watching this and monitoring this. I'm going to take a very small break, get a drink of water, but Todd Howell is standing by the band ready to go. Todd, back to you.
All right, Kaylee Bowers, thank you very much. Also, Tavian Whitehurst here. We're in a little bit, folks. We are continuing to track and monitor these line of severe storms. We're going to be resetting a little bit and getting ready for obviously the 10 o'clock show coming up on Fox 43, and of course coming up later on the at 11 o'clock right here on Channel 10. So we're going to continue to bring you the very latest news of the day, the very latest weather updates. Again, the good news, slowly but surely, we still have active storms. We've still been tracking and monitoring severe weather, but the good news, hopefully, is we showed you Futurecast a moment ago. These storms are going to be moving out of the region between now and just before midnight. So we're basically talking about less than 2 hours as far as having to deal with more storms. Now, there's some heavy rain, maybe some lingering spotty showers after that, but pretty much the storm potential is about another hour and a half or so in general, up until about maybe 11 o'clock and maybe just past 11 p.m. for eastern areas. We still have some pockets of strong to severe storms, and that's why we've continued to have that severe threat. That's why we've been bringing you long-form coverage throughout this Sunday evening. Of course, Tavian Whitehurst been here throughout the evening. Kaylee Bowers was here this morning and back here later today. So they've been keeping you updated, and I'm just trying to chime in and give them a break. But they've been doing excellent coverage today, and we appreciate you joining us, and we're trying to keep everybody safe and sound on this Sunday until these storms wind down. So that's what we're seeing right now. We have a lot of lightning. We do have severe thunderstorm warning, and I believe this may be a new warning that is coming out of Knox County from Strawberry Plains just to Dandridge, and we'll let that reset right there. I think that's a new one until 10 p.m. Yeah, for Granger, Jefferson, Knox, and Sevier counties. So Beach Springs, Jefferson City, Newmarket, and another city off the screen. But that's what we're seeing right there. Again, this storm is coming out of Knox County into Jefferson County and down into far northern Sevier County. That includes Kodak area. Again, damaging winds, heavy rainfall. We've had quite a bit of reports of the hail potential earlier. We did have rotation. Now what we're seeing mainly in the atmosphere, and this is kind of expected, but we've had earlier the tornado warnings that were in place with a lot of rotation. Now we're starting to see things a little bit more of the push of wind and your severe thunderstorm warnings, which is more of your straight line wind potential. Again, earlier, yeah, impressively had some tornado warnings across many parts of the region, especially along the Cumberland Plateau, northern parts of East Tennessee, up into Kentucky and Virginia. And I tell you what, just outside of our viewing area, this is going from Lee County, Virginia, into Wise and Scott counties. Now, just again, this is kind of getting out of our viewing area and away from viewerships. Folks can still watch us in Pennington Gap near Dryden area. Maybe you're watching us in Wise and Scott counties, Virginia. But just to let you know, again, there it is, Lee, Scott, and Wise. It's moving out of the Channel 10 viewing area, but moving east, tornado warning until 10:15. Norton also included in that. Okay, let's go back to our wider view for the area, and here's what we're seeing again. We have multiple severe thunderstorm warnings still in place. There's the new warning. Let's talk about this storm earlier as well, Tavia, and I'll let you chime in whenever you're ready as well. We were looking at this storm and with Kaylee as well, and these storms bowing out with that line of potentially strong to severe thunderstorm winds. They're now pushing in from Clinchmore, Caryville, Jacksboro, La Follette. So again, continue to work their way right up from Highway 63 that will continue to track up toward Habersham as well and Elk Valley. So this is what we're looking at. Again, these storms that will continue to make their way due east. Tavian's doing a long track plot and storm track here, and this is what we're seeing. Again, this is a line of damaging winds across a large area, so many areas will be impacted. La Follette coming up in just right now, Habersham less than 5 minutes, Fincastle 6 minutes, Clinton to the south in Anderson County about 9 minutes. Again, it's a long line of potential damaging winds. Pruden, Speedwell, and Powell Valley, and continuing then up toward Middlesboro. tracking this line all up and down. And again, as we mentioned, Clinton 25W, also some of those heavier showers and some potentially strong winds. Also down toward Coalfield and Oliver Springs. That's a look at what we're seeing across the northern portions of the area. Thank you, Tavian. Coming on down toward Oliver Springs and, Oakdale and Harriman, coming out of Morgan County into Roane County. That's another cluster, and you can kind of see maybe some winds pushing out in Harriman. Heads up, you could have some higher winds there, maybe a few damage and wind gusts. The severe thunderstorm warning, again, is coming off the plateau in some of these areas as well, and that's what we're looking at with some of the individual communities. Clinton and Oak Ridge and Clinton, that'll be in your neck of the woods over the next 5 to 10 minutes. So, near Calleytown Road area, Highway 61, 62, coming out of Coalfield, Petros Joyner area, and back toward Oliver Springs, and then the split off going up toward Oak Ridge. That's what we're seeing, this line of storms, again, that's going to continue to trek. And again, that extends generally from around Harriman, Kingston area, all the way up to Middlesboro, Kentucky. So that's more of a linear line. More heavier showers around Friendsville and have moved through Farragut. And there you're seeing some stronger storms. So if you're watching this down in Blount County, I know on social media a little while ago, someone was asking about, what about Blount County? Not there yet, but now it is. And from Wallen over toward Seymour and Wildwood, heavier showers, a few thunderstorms here. Don't believe we have any warnings on that, just some pockets of showers, a few thunderstorms south of Maryville down toward Cades Cove and also Townsend. That's what we're looking at as these heavier showers and storms are continuing to track their way into the region. Kaylee, I'll send it back over to you and Tavian. We're going to talk about any storm reports, kind of do a little bit of a reset here. We are going to be taking a break for our folks in the back to get ready for the 10 o'clock show on Fox 43. Also, as storms slowly begin to wind down, it gives us an opportunity to take a little bit of a break. And again, we appreciate you tuning in, and we'll have the very latest coming up in a little bit. For right now, again, we're still going to be tracking these storms. We'll stay with them as they track through, but I'll send it over to you, Kaylee and Tabe, and y'all can talk about some of these storm reports. Take it away.
Absolutely. Well, I'm throwing up the map right now. We're looking at a couple of these storm reports. Mainly a lot of hail is what we're seeing. Hail and some trees blowing down. Let's see. We can zoom in just a little bit and we kind of tap on some of these, try to figure out what we are looking at. So in Fentress County, just south of Jamestown, we were seeing trees uprooted or snap, roof damage. That could be coming from some of that rotation and really faster winds that we were seeing up in that area. We look a little bit further. We've got a lot of hail reports. We're seeing this one here in Harriman. That is 1-inch hail right there, just south of Rocky Top. Also about 1-inch hail. Spring City, let's see what we got. Spring City showing 1.5 inches, so quarter to ping pong ball size hail right there along Highway 68 out in Crossville. I believe this is also for some trees that are going to be down in the area. Let's see how that looks. Come on, buddy. So we're going to continue to watch, again, a couple of storm reports happening through the area, mostly for the main threats that we've been seeing and that we've been listing since we even had the original level 1 threat for severe storm. So hail and damaging winds are going to continue to be the main 2 threats that we're seeing. Try to get a better look over here at Crossville. This is where we saw some of that. We saw that tornado possibly laying down. That was confirmed by the multiple videos that we saw. Some significant house damage. Hopefully that family is safe and we're able to get somewhere underground. They were able to maintain themselves and be able to protect themselves from that kind of crazy weather. Look further over into Wartburg. We're seeing, again, 1/4 inch size hail. Just showed you the ones that we had out in that area. We're seeing some updates from the National Weather Service. Let's see what we got. Looks like the tornado warning in Lee County has been canceled. So let's actually switch gears for a little bit. Switch back over into the radar. And if we move this back on out, we can take a look up there. So the first tornado warning that we were seeing in that area has since gone away, but we're still watching the second one here that is going until about 10:15. So the 9:45 has expired. That was about 15 minutes early, but now we're still seeing this secondary warning here that is now past Pennington Gap, still sitting over Dryden, heading into wards or really north of the Duffield area. Those are the people that are going to be continuing to look for this system next. So actually, let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit. We can switch over to the velocity, turn off some of these warnings, and here is that sort of core that we are looking for that has some of those brighter winds. Let's see if we can take a look at what some of these wind speeds are doing. Getting upwards of 60 miles per hour. You see 57 right there. We've got some green over here on this end. That's more that rotation. Showing to be a little bit weak over here, but still We've got that couplet here around 53, 57, 62 miles per hour in that region to the northwest of Duffield. That's going to continue to head in that direction. So let's switch back over to the radar. We can talk a little bit more about the track that we're going to see for this system. If you kind of watch how it's come up to this point, it's somewhat split off and taken a little bit more of an easterly direction than some of these other storms. So if we get that a pause right there, we can actually take a look a little bit better and see what direction it's going to be heading in from this point forward. So we can continue to watch this. Let's see if we can do. Coming from just south of the Big Stone Gap area. So this is likely something that'll track a little bit further into the south for you. Robinette Chapel, about 4 minutes. Orton, 5 minutes. Irondale, Zion Church, under about 10 minutes. If you're in Crackerneck or in the church in that area, or by the Valley Creek Church, that's also going to be in about 20 to 25 minutes. We get down to Lano, to Fort Blackmore Elementary School. You guys are some people that could see this storm as we get into the next 30 minutes. So we're not seeing as much of a defined hook per se that what we were looking at earlier when the storm was in Pennington Gap, but there is still that fast moving rotation, a lot of those gusty winds, so it is going to continue to be something that we will keep an eye on as we get into the coming minutes. I'm going to send things over to Kaylee for a little bit. She has some new information for you guys that she can add as we look forward to these storms. Kaylee, what you got?
Tavian, thanks so much. Yeah, just looking all across the area right now, this is the latest loop. If we can go ahead and get to play, this is the first line of the scattered showers and thunderstorms we saw just a few hours ago. This is round 2. Luckily, not looking to be as strong or severe, but could definitely see some rumbles of thunder. Could definitely see some bolts of lightning and hear some rumbles of thunder, but we're not seeing nearly as much lightning. Still seeing a decent amount of lightning though, with that other round of strong showers and thunderstorms that's moving in from parts of Middle Tennessee. If we can go ahead and turn back on the warnings, what we're seeing all across the area right now, we are still watching that tornado warning in southwest Virginia, but we're looking at these thunderstorm warnings in East Tennessee. So we're seeing a very large one right there, right along the plateau and part of the valley, but also one that actually looks like it's changed a little bit. Has it updated just in the past few minutes, guys? No? Oh, all right. So
coming into Rockwood down to Spring City. That's one of the more recent ones. Actually, Claiborne County, that may be go into Tazewell, up into Claiborne County, that may be a new extension right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kaylee.
Yeah, so this is what we're not looking at this tornado warning. I know our graphics are acting a little wonky right now, but we're looking at, there we go, the severe thunderstorm warning still for Anderson, Campbell, for Claiborne, and, wait for it, and Union County. So again, the only tornado warning that we're watching is in Southwest Virginia. East Tennessee just dealing with some severe thunderstorm warnings for this evening. This thunderstorm warning looked to expire right around 10:15, which is when that tornado warning is supposed to expire in Southwest Virginia as well. So again, Anderson, Campbell, Claiborne, and Union County. This includes parts of Caryville, Clinchmore, Elk Valley, and the Fincastle area. If we can go ahead and stop radar real fast and do a loop or do a track, because it's moving about 30 miles an hour east. So I already mentioned some of these cities, but a few more cities that could be impacted will be included here. Norris, right now seeing that line of scattered showers and thunderstorms moving through the Clarefield area in about 3 minutes. Speedwell, 8 minutes. Paulette, about 11 minutes. Powell Valley, 13 minutes. Maynardville, 15 minutes. All the way down towards Clouds, 22 minutes. And still about 27 minutes until it moves into the Washburn area, But look at that. We're seeing spotty showers and thunderstorms all across the area. If we can actually put on the velocity, just see how strong some of these showers and these thunderstorms are, maybe even zoom in towards the La Follette, Caryville, Clinchmore area. As far as the system goes, again, very bright color. So we're not concerned with rotation with this line. We're just dealing with some very strong straight line winds. You can see now some of the numbers changing right there as we're getting a new scan in around 50 to 62 miles an hour near the Rocky Top area. So again, we're not dealing with rotation with this second line of showers and thunderstorms. Just the biggest concern looks to be those straight line winds. Are we seeing any hail potential, Todd, Tavian, at all with this line moving through at all?
We'll check out the hail potential. It looks like that hail potential, once we got a lot of the heating that started to slowly subside, that started to kind of wind down. When we had the maximum vertical motion with the thunderstorms, a lot of the updrafts, we were getting some of the core of some of that hail. But Yes, Tavian's right here sampling what we're seeing. Don't really see a whole lot. Maybe check the VIL and just kind of, yeah, exactly. You can kind of see it's down. Maybe we'll loop that a little bit, Tavian, kind of. And Kaylee, I'll let you continue there. You can kind of see it's a little bit weaker compared to earlier.
Yeah, and that's the good thing. TV and I were just talking just a moment ago when you were talking, Todd. This line that we're looking at moving from Middle Tennessee within the past hour or so, it's not as strong. I mean, it's still producing some very strong straight line winds, but the intensity as far as rotation goes, as far as the hail potential goes, nothing compared to that first line that we saw move through right around 4, 5-ish, 6 o'clock-ish, all the way until about 8 o'clock, even within the past 30 minutes or so. This is the line that brought us those isolated showers and thunderstorms earlier in the evening, also brought us multiple thunderstorm and tornado warnings. Let's go back to the radar loop real fast and show you those thunderstorm warnings we're seeing outside right now. Again, we're still going to stay on until we see this one tornado warning in Southwest Virginia start to expire. Let's go ahead and zoom back in, show you what's going on in Southwest Virginia with this system, with this tornado warning. Looking just a little bit closer. So with this system, again, we still care about those folks in Southwest Virginia. This includes Lee County, Scott County, and Wise County. This includes cities like Appalachia, Big Stone Gap, Dryden, and the Duffield area. So you can definitely see that system moving right now just south of the, I'm gonna really butcher this name, I'm not even gonna try. Keoki, thank you, Todd, Keoki. That is the hard thing about moving somewhere new. You never know how to pronounce the towns. Wait, did you just take, okay. Just making sure. We are still under that tornado warning for 10:15 in Lee, Scott, and Wise County. So again, it's just north of the Duffield area, Keoki, Big Stone Gap, and Tavian's gonna draw this line right here. As far as the timing goes, 8 minutes before it moves into the Cracker Neck area, 17 minutes until it moves into the Llano area, about 28 minutes before it moves into the Carter School area. But once this tornado warning expires, our viewing area here in East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, and Southeast Kentucky will be allowed to rest and relax. Tavian, let's widen out the bigger picture real fast, show you exactly what's going all across the area. I'm going to take a break here real fast, and Chief Meteorologist Todd Howell is going to step in here in just a moment. Actually, Todd, come on in, take it away. Here we go.
I'll come on in a half second. We got to reset the camera. Kaylee, thank you so much. No, I'll be 6'5" and I always wanted to be. I was a point guard. There you go. Okay.
There you go.
There we go. And there we go. That's right. All right. Hey, Kaylee, thank you so much. Back to a quick point on the tornado warning Kaylee was talking about. Yes, on the far northeastern edge of Lee County, Virginia, the storm is starting to move out of Lee County and into Scott and Wise counties, just outside our viewing area. So here momentarily, as that storm leaves Lee County, Virginia, we still have elsewhere some scattered strong to severe thunderstorms with some pockets of potentially damaging winds. Overall, slightly less intensity what we're seeing earlier. So we will be taking a break in about 5 minutes or so. We're going to reset coming up at 10 o'clock at the top of the hour. A full news broadcast coming up on Fox 43 at 10 o'clock, and of course at 11 p.m. right here on Channel 10 WBIR. So just to give you an idea of our expected programming. Now, if something regains strength and pops back up, that will change. We'll be here to cover it, and we'll always do our best to keep you informed and keep you covered. So that's kind of the expectation. Again, these pockets of severe storms up in portions of southeast Kentucky, southwest Virginia, La Follette, again down toward Caryville, that's the line of strong to severe storms. As a matter of fact, from Jellicoe, La Follette, near Oak Ridge, Oliver Springs, and you can see this line all the way down Rockwood, Spring City, and down into Bledsoe. And Kaylee was talking about that a moment ago, and Kaylee and Tavian were talking about how they've seen that line weaken just a little bit compared to what it was earlier in Middle Tennessee. Nonetheless, and Kaylee made a great point of how that second line is catching up to the first line of storms. And this first wave is still going pretty strong. So Morristown and Dandridge, you're still seeing these scattered storms, and also into southern portions of Blount County. Okay, I'm going to wrap up from now. I'm going to send it over to Tavian, who's going to take you the rest of the way home. You enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll keep you updated here at Channel 10. Thank you for joining us. Tavian, I'll send it back over to you.
All righty, thank you very much, Todd. It's been a very active past couple of hours, honestly. Oh, something new? Okay, strong thunderstorm. That's all right. We already know that those are happening. We are seeing some very strong thunderstorms that we've seen over these past couple of hours. I'm going to do something a little bit different. Every once in a while, I like to look over the past 6 hours or so and really watch some of these storms work their way in, just kind of show you where we've come from this point. So we started with just a couple of those strong thunderstorms working their way into parts of Fentress County, and those just continue to grow and blow up as we got closer to around even just about 8-9 p.m. You see a lot of those stronger storms started to pick up throughout the area, and we're now seeing that greater line start to pick up as we're getting into these final couples. So luckily with this line, we're seeing much less intensity, much less rotation with these. Winds are showing to be a little bit slower as well, so things are a lot more calmer than they were just a little bit ago. And take a look at the observed rainfall. We've seen some pretty intense rain as we get a little bit further over these next couple over these past couple of hours. Really heaviest rainfall been sitting up in the plateau. Again, a lot of that Fentress County. You're seeing some of these oranges and reds here getting into Pickett County, so not quite in our area, but we've still got some very good rainfall. And as we get over the next couple of hours, the plateau has had its moment, and the valley has had a pretty decent moment as well. But now we're going to start to see that push further over east into the mountains and foothills. And if you remember the drought monitor, the people that need that rain the most are going to be sitting here in the central northern valley, working our way up into Kentucky and even further down into the valley. So we're seeing around this half inch here as we get a little bit north of Lenore City, 0.8 as we get closer, into the Strawberry Plains area, closer to 4 inches as you work your way out into the plateau. Here's that drought monitor. So again, getting into the northern valley, it expanded way further in all directions, especially further down south into the valley. We're dipping into parts of Rockwood, getting closer to the plateau as well, always following these waterways. That's where a lot of our agriculture is, and that's where we need the rain the most. And that's exactly where we're getting it. We're now seeing that line of storms with all the severe thunderstorm warnings starting to line up with the river. So we're going to continue to see that rain, hopefully in all of these agricultural places that need the rain the most, so that we don't have anything like fires start to break out. So very strong winds coming along with this. I believe this is still set to the past couple of hours. Again, that line is going to continue to push its way on through as we get over the next couple of hours. And so really tonight, we're going to see calmer conditions from this point on. It really seems like a lot of that energy has been used up to this point. And so as we get later into these kind of late night hours, as we transition into midnight on your Monday, things are going to get a lot calmer. If possible, Kaylee, if we have one of the Futurecasts on us that we can try to throw up and show a little bit of what we're seeing. So right now, here we go. We got this full line that's going to continue to move its way through the area as we get into these late night hours. Temperature's going to start to drop down into the 60s, and then we'll get some clearing, maybe a couple of showers as we get down into your Monday. That rain finally continues to pass off. Cloud cover replaces it, and then maybe just a couple of sprinkles as we continue through. But we have got our show at Fox 43 coming up at 10 o'clock. I'm going to be here and continuing to forecast for what we're seeing on the radar right now, what we'll see as we get into the overnight hours before I toss it off to Rebecca Sweet. So thank you for staying with us. I hope everybody is staying safe, and I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
How much fun are we having